back to another episode of Collector's Quest. I'm Tyler, here with Johnny for a real episode this week. Johnny, what's going on?
Not much, Tyler. How are you, man?
Is this what your thing you had to talk about is?
Yeah, chit-chat. It's how we do it.
I love me doing some chit-chat, Johnny. It's the Christmas season. I think we went pretty far out this year. We had a bunch of dolls for Halloween. I'm talking about the seasonal change we're talking about here. I had 4 strobe lights on my house. I'm also the only house in the entire neighborhood that plays music out my windows. And it was great. We had dolls carrying a garbage bag that was shaped like a corpse across my front lawn. We hang up dolls on our trees every year. It's the best Halloween decoration. Just love having a bunch of dolls around the house. And it was great. And this year, the people in my freaking neighborhood, 7:45 p.m. is when they start shutting off their front porch lights. They're like, okay, enough of this. It's 7:45. And there was one of my neighbors shut off their front porch lights and turned on their Christmas lights at 8 p.m. It was like, that's it. Trick-or-treating's over. Put on Mariah Carey. And they didn't even wait till midnight or the day after. I hadn't even taken in my decorations yet. This is too much overlap now.
Here's my problem. Hey, you want to put up your Christmas stuff November 3rd? Okay, but still on Halloween? Can we just wait? Halloween is All Hallows Eve. Can we at least have All Saints Day before you go crazy and maybe just let the Day of the Dead happen as well? Can we just let those 2 holidays just have their time? They only get a day, and then we can move in. Look, I'm all for it. November 3rd, go nuts. Go nuts.
November 1st, I understand everyone has their lights out November 1st. It was seeing it on the trick-or-treating night is what it just got to me for some reason. Because I still have my music playing. I still have my strobe lights going. It's come on, man. You're ruining the mood.
They are ruining the mood. They are mood killers.
They get a solid 3 months of this because no one takes in their stuff for January. And I don't even keep my Halloween stuff up all October. I do it a week before Halloween because I recognize my stuff is somewhat repugnant and I don't think my neighbors like it very much. The kids love it.
Well, I mean, do you love their Christmas lights?
Sure, I'm down with some Christmas lights.
All right.
I mean, after Christmas, I get annoyed. I'm like, come on. What are we celebrating at this point? But yeah, I could deal with some Christmas lights. It makes the neighborhood look nice. What have you been up to, Johnny?
I mean, I did just finish a full month of Halloween videos. I did it, Tyler.
Oh, yeah. On the YouTube, getting dozens of views. I was the first thumbs up on almost every single one of your videos, Johnny. I'm your biggest fan.
You are my biggest fan.
I wasn't commenting on all of them. I know I'm supposed to comment, and subscribe, but I'm already subscribed, and I didn't have a comment on all of them. Because we did already previously discuss most of these games.
Yeah. Well, and that's fine. They were only on YouTube, so you and Joe could see them. And then I just got a bunch of comments on them that were like, "Hey, put gameplay video on this. This would be interesting if there was gameplay video." I was just like, "It's a 1 minute short, guys. It's literally 1 minute."
People are watching shorts because they have no attention span. Have you ever been on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, Johnny? People will put up videos of unrelated video games just to keep 9-year-olds' attention while they're just talking about something completely unrelated. Because people just have to be looking at something. Looking at someone talking, we have evolved past that mattering now.
Sure. I mean, look, whatever. I did it. I said I was going to do it. I did it. The 10-year-olds who commented on the Halloween video who were upset, it's whatever. There was 6 people, but I got a bunch of subs all of a sudden. I was like, what is happening? One day I just looked at my phone and it was just 40 notifications for subscribers. I was like, what is happening? Oh, I guess one of these videos made it. One of them hit the algorithm and stuck the landing.
That's so weird. I don't understand how to make content anymore, Johnny. They just it wasn't your best video. The algorithm's just let's make this guy feel important so he keeps making videos for us.
Yeah, it was not my best video. Not even close. There was a few videos where I was pretty sick and just struggling to get through them. I was like, all right, I did it. Who cares? I don't care. I've got a minute down. We're good to go. And then yeah, TikTok, they did better on TikTok than I thought they were going to.
You posted those on TikTok too, Johnny?
I did.
Who is following your TikToks for talking about random horror games? Are you doing like other video games, or you just like, I did 30 videos, I'm done?
I did 31 videos and that was it.
Okay.
That was it. I was just like, whatever, I'm cross-posting. It was easy to cross-post to TikTok, and then Instagram, they did like pretty well overall. Like they always do fine on Instagram because I already have a following there. But TikTok, I had one video get like, I don't know, like 6,000 or 7,000 views or something, because it was the lenticular for Nightmare Before Christmas. And it was literally me just showing the lenticular in action for like half the video. And that was enough.
Johnny,
people were like, yes.
You know what? You got to go for that 9-year-old audience where they're like, ooh, shiny. What's going on there? I'm going to look at this for more than 4 seconds. And the algorithm's like, whoa, someone's watching this for more than 4 seconds? They've got something going on here.
It was really weird. It was a weird experience. You know, I do videos here and there, right? Where I like just come in and talk and stuff. But Instagram's nice because 1 minute and 30 seconds is enough time usually to talk pretty quickly about one game and just like its basic facts, but 1 minute is almost not enough time.
I hate all of these, so just a heads up to everyone. Like, if you thought you were wasting your life playing video games or just mindlessly buying video games, I think like the short form social media content is like the worst thing to ever happen to humanity. Just having an algorithm decide, like, I know how to keep you in your fucking chair for the next 4 hours because I can deliver all the dopamine in just the right amount. It's just, like, the worst. I hate it.
That's not great. So basically, this was me being like, all right, some of this I haven't talked about or shown yet. And let me basically, because people are always like, oh, man, it would be nice on the podcast if you showed the games. So, yeah. So I was showing the games this time. So it was basically like an ancillary episode of the podcast.
I mean, it's not the same without me there, Johnny.
It isn't. Oh, are you joining me next year then? We're going to collab?
Nope, because videos a hassle.
I cannot wait. I can't wait for our collaboration next year. You heard it here. Tyler and I doing a bunch of short form content, and we will be sure to have video game footage. What if we just throw Mario Brothers in the video game footage for all of it?
You could do that. Like, that's a totally valid strategy. Johnny, I was watching some Heritage Auctions today.
Oh.
And I did want to talk about this because...
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about that first.
There's some good schadenfreude here. And I realize, Johnny, the game's selling in the high-end sealed market. Now, you might want to sit down for this. They're still very expensive. But You know how, like, if there's a team, I don't know how it actually works for basketball, but like there's a team with the last team in the league that's like undefeated. Like everyone is like, even if you like don't usually think about that team, you're just like silently rooting like, man, I hope those guys lose. I can't wait for those guys to lose because they're going to be so sad once they lose. You know, and there's a little bit of schadenfreude seeing people lose when it comes to video games. And there's going to be like haters out there, or people really calling me a hater, like, Tyler, you shouldn't be excited when people lose money. You should hope that everyone gets happy and achieves their goals. But you know what? Maybe if you spend $250,000 on a video game, like a children's toy that we collect that's mass produced, maybe seeing you fall a little bit from grace is a little bit fun, Johnny.
Also, those people were here for all the wrong reasons, kind of, and they came in and they were like, I'm going to fuck up this market and make all these game collectors get real weird and think all of these games are more valuable than they are. And I'm going to collect checks from them. And, so watching that strategy kind of falter, I'm okay with.
John, let me just get some highlights. I didn't prepare for this segment at all. I'm just like really quickly clicking through. Johnny, at 9.4 A+, Twisted Metal, long box. Kind of classic game, like, yeah, but like not A-list. $17,400. That's today's price. Twisted Metal is still worth $17,000, but October 2021, that was $87,000. Or right after that, in April 2022, a 9.6, not a 9.4, was $156,000. This was bought by the Reddit guy, the guy who founded Reddit, who just has like unlimited money. He's just like, I like Twisted Metal. This is the greatest thing. Very funny fall from grace. I've got a good one, though, for you, Johnny. Resident Evil 9.6 A+, the same copy that sold in October 2021, $264,000. It sold today for $38,000.
Jesus.
He lost more than $200,000 on that.
The guy who bought that basically just lit $200,000 on fire. That's a house in some places.
Not anymore, it's not. That's that's a Detroit house at this point.
Still, it's a mobile home in some places. That's a lot of money, Tyler. That's a lot. That's a big, huge fall. That's a lot of money for not exist suddenly.
It feels like $38,000. You would still look at that and be like, holy shit, that's an insane sale for, you know, a 2mm thick shrink wrap on a copy of Resident Evil. But 2021 prices, you compare anything to 2021 and it's just nuts. And the high end stuff is what's fallen the most. There was also Madden 92, but I think on Super Nintendo it's just called John Madden Football. That went from $108,000 to like $7,800. Woo! We're going. It's coming down. We're gonna eventually. The people listening to this podcast, Johnny, are gonna be able to afford sealed video games again. And I'm not talking like fucking PS4 games. Stop hoarding PS4 games. No one's gonna care about sealed PS4 games. You guys cut it out. We're talking about the real shit, like, you know, $38,000 Resident Evils, things that, like, you know, you and me could definitely afford.
I don't know. I think saving sealed PS4 games is a good strategy.
Shut up, Johnny.
Yeah, okay.
What are you talking about?
I don't know, Tyler. I've got a fever, and what do you want from me?
Johnny, Bomberman 64, watt of 10. I think this is the first time this was sold, and I'm gonna say it. Bomberman 64 is the best Bomberman game. Because single-player Bomberman sucks. Playing Bomberman as if it was the multiplayer game, but against CPU enemies, is not fun.
Bomberman Saturn.
No, I understand there are bosses, but like the actual stages of Bomberman Saturn is similar to a lot of the other single-player Bomberman games, and it's like, okay. And Bomberman 64 single-player is a legitimately fun puzzle platformer. It's the best Bomberman game. And the multiplayer is whatever, because basically all the Bombermans are the exact same thing. So Bomberman 64 is the best.
So what I'm hearing from you is you don't actually like Bomberman. You like Bombermans that aren't like Bomberman.
Maybe, yes. Because I primarily play single player because I'm not, 13 years old on a Nintendo 64 anymore. But you could replace, I'll play Bomberman 93 with you, I'll play Bomberman 64 with you, I'll play Saturn Bomberman with you, I'll play whatever. Any Bomberman game, I'm going to have bomb power-ups, I'm going to have fire power-ups, I'm going to have some kind of unique power-ups. Some of them have like little things you could do after you die. More or less the same experience. All of them are going to be fun. But I'm only going to have like a lot of fun playing Bomberman 64 single player. And like Bomberman Hero's fine. I think I like the N64 Bomberman games. That's like my favorite era of Bomberman because the single player ones are the best.
Okay, weirdo.
Right. Anyway, Johnny, what do you think a watt of 10 Bomberman 64 sold for? This was like a big deal when this was graded because it was like one of the first watt of 10s ever. And people were like, holy shit, I didn't even know you could get a 10, let alone on Nintendo 64 with those fragile boxes.
What year?
What do you mean, what year?
What year did it sell?
Oh, this sold yesterday.
Oh.
Or today. Yeah.
Today.
This is the only time it sold, I think.
Okay. So this is November of 2023. I'm going to say it went for $14,000.
Johnny, it went for $4,000.
Oh my goodness.
Johnny, a Rap Jam Volume 1.
No.
On the SNES sold for $15,600 because it was a 1 out of 10.
When did Rap Jam sell?
Last year, April.
Oh my God. That is.
I know the original art for that is somewhere. I hope to God that the person who spent that ungodly amount of money for it literally just bought it to pair it with the original art, but $15,000 for Rap Jam Volume 1. What are we talking about?
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
All right. That feels real bad.
The only other one, I don't even have comps for this, Johnny, but a Super Mario RPG. This is the first one that came up for sale since the remake was announced. 9.6A. And it sold for $7,800. And like, I realize that's a lot of money, but in this world where like everything that says Mario, like major key title on a thing, mint condition, more or less 9.6A is like really good for Super Nintendo. $7,800 does not feel like a lot of money. Like Secret of Mana sold for over 30 grand. Anyway, a lot of sellers kind of upset with these sales.
Can see why.
I don't know. It's fun to see the drops. And then Johnny, Left Bro Super Mario Brothers 3. How much do you think this crashed from $144,000?
Let's say $14,000.
Johnny, it sold for like $108,000. You can stop the train. You can stop Resident Evil. You can stop Super Mario Brothers. You can stop Mario Kart 64. Nothing stops Left Bros. Left Bros is the only, it will withstand any recession.
Man, Left Bros is just it. We found the truth a long time ago.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Anyway, that's what I spent. This was like one of those signature auctions that goes on for like hours. So I'm just thinking about that all day. So I thought I'd throw out some fun prices for you, Johnny.
That is fun. I love it. All right. You gave me a gift of Schadenfreude. Can I now give you the gift of the holidays?
Love it.
All right. So this is our annual gift giving guide. So this is the part of the episode where you probably either listen and take notes and give it to your spouse or loved ones, or create a really advanced Amazon list, or you just make your spouse listen to this part. Probably not the Tyler's suggestions. They're going to be harder, but mine will be the dummy versions. Hey, let's make this easy for our family members and our loved ones to buy us stuff, because they do want to buy you stuff, and they want to buy you stuff that you're interested in, but we want to give them the right things, because no one needs a warp pipe mug. Okay. We don't need that. Just stop it. Stop it.
I hate stuff. I mean, I realize I've devoted my life to the pursuit of material possessions, but then like when people just have like material possessions for the sake of it, like merch. Oh man, I hate some merch, Johnny.
You and I are both not merch guys.
Go on I Am 8-Bit, and like some of their video games are cool, but man, like every other thing on that website, Johnny.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Not for it.
Amiibos, I'm out.
I'll say I like Amiibos. Amiibos are fun.
I like the idea of Amiibo. I like their price. I like their quality, but man, I don't have room in my life for a bucket full of Amiibos.
Yeah, and I mean Amiibos. Like I thought they would be done with Amiibos by now, because I don't know how they're still being sold, but 2 new Zelda ones just came out. So hope you bought your Zelda Amiibos.
I hope that they continue Amiibo, like the NFC reader, into their next console. Because I think Amiibos are like pointless. Like who cares about the functionality of Amiibos? But I think it is a really good line of figures. I think it's better than like the World of Nintendo line, because who's collecting the World of Nintendo line of figures? I know you guys are out there. You're probably listening to this podcast, but Amiibos feel like the figures for everybody, and I like that aspect of it.
Same. Yeah, I like those a lot.
All right, we've 180. We're thumbs up on Amiibos. Get Amiibos for Christmas. They've got 2 new Zelda ones, I heard. You can probably beep it on your thing, and like some food will fall out of the sky.
Yeah, you can get a Ganondorf and a Zelda right now. It just came out.
Nope. I'm not going to. I considered at some point just getting all the Zelda ones, and I'm like, I'm not going down this dark path. Because I know it wouldn't stop at just all the Zelda ones. I'd be like, oh, but then I need like all the Mario ones and all there's variants.
Collector brain kicks in, and then you...
everything's a trap. Everything's a trap. I hate... Stop trying to get my money and attention. Why does everything have to be a trap these days? Why can't we just have good old-fashioned fun?
It's, that's not allowed anymore. Just stop it. You're never getting that. We have to consume. Consume!
We must consume. And that's what we're going to be talking about. So, Johnny, give me... let me throw out a gift idea. I realize a lot of our things are going to be video games, books, maybe records if we have them. But, Johnny, my first video game I want to throw out is a gift idea. Something that maybe 99% of people listening to this would probably have overlooked. Sigil 2. Huh?
Okay. Hey.
Do you know what Sigil is?
Nope. Tell me more.
John Romero, one of the designers of Doom, a few years ago made a WAD for Doom, basically an expansion pack, called Sigil. It's the unofficial 5th episode of Doom. The original Doom has 4 episodes. This is the unofficial 5th episode. And it's fine. It had a limited run games release. I think they sold it for like $666. Maybe it was $166. It was like some ridiculous price for 9 levels of Doom. And I kind of thought it was hyped up, overpriced a bit. But John Romero is a super cool guy, and Doom's a super cool game. I will buy anything this man puts out. So, Sigil 2 is the unofficial 6th episode of Doom. Do I think it's going to be great? I don't know. I don't think this is going to be at all relevant or historically important, or people will look back and be like, whoa, you don't have the complete Doom unless you have the 2 Sigil games. If you've heard of myhouse.wad, that's a Doom 2 WAD that came out. That is, at this point, more historically relevant in the public conscious because people have played that and like watched people play that on YouTube. Also, the price for this is $69.95. It's like 70 euros plus shipping from Ireland because John Romero lives in Ireland now. It's going to be $100 for 9 Doom levels, which is it's a crazy thing to do. But Johnny, I love Doom, and I bet this flew under most people's radars. And John Romero loves signing stuff, so he's signing the boxes before they get shrink wrapped. So because you're never going to open it, because you're probably just going to find a way to just, I don't know if you get a download code or something, you're just going to buy it for $5. You get the signature under the shrink wrap, so it's going to last. I don't know, it's cool. Sigil 2. I think Doom is cool. Johnny, maybe buy it.
Okay.
If I can give you one more reason that this maybe sort of matters, but kind of doesn't, the Unity Doom ports, basically the best Doom port, the one that's on all the modern consoles now, it includes Sigil as one of like the little built-in expansion packs. So Sigil does have clout in the real modern Doom port era.
Interesting. Okay.
And
You're
also,
starting to appeal to me, but not really.
There were 200th limited editions. There was I think it was 166 that came with a 3.5-inch floppy, and then like 10 or something that came with a 5.25-inch floppy of the WAD. And they sold out like immediately. This went on sale today, I think. And like as soon as I saw the email, I'm like, oh, all right, let me go click that. And like they were sold out immediately. And I thought I like missed something. Like, am I not finding the pre-order page? No, they sold out in less than an hour. So I don't know. The Doom fans are out there.
I mean, Doom fans are out there. They are.
The highest tier one was $160. Let me just tell you, like, guys, I understand. I'm a video game collector. I think floppy disks are cool. I think John Romero is like, he seems like just like a super nice guy. He seems is like one of my favorite video game creators. You don't need to spend $160 for 9 Doom levels, no matter how cool the packaging is. Just don't be sad that you missed the stupid version. Just get the other overpriced version. It'll only cost your family $100.
Yeah. Well, can I counter your one weird suggestion with a very easy to find suggestion?
Sure.
Have you heard of Arcade 1-Up?
Johnny, I don't like where this is going.
I'm just kidding. Don't buy those. Don't ask for those. Just stop it with Arcade 1-Ups.
I can't say anything too bad because Johnny, like 33% of people listening to this podcast have an Arcade 1-Up that is sitting off. Probably within 10 feet of them right now.
Look, they love video games and they couldn't help themselves. We've all been there. But, like, just buy a MAME cabinet. Just buy a MAME cabinet and put a sticker on it. That is your favorite game.
Johnny, if you're going to buy a MAME cabinet, I mean, you're not. I understand the appeal of, like, standing up and all. It's not the real experience if I'm not standing up and looking at a screen at just the right angle. Buy like a nice arcade stick for like $100, get like the Sanwa joystick and the Zaimitsu buttons, whatever you like, and just sit at your fucking computer and play some arcade games. And if you're not like the arcade guy, and let me tell you, if you don't have a MAME cabinet in 2023, you're not the arcade guy. So spend $100 on something you could throw in your closet after and spend a day playing Donkey Kong, playing some like weird 90s games you've never heard of. You know, play all those games, and you're going to have a great weekend, and then you're going to be like, man, thank God I didn't spend $3,000 and have a MAME cabinet sitting in my freaking entryway for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Buy a monitor that can go into tape mode. and just knock yourself out. You're going to be so glad you did. Or what you can do, if you really, you can buy one of those. You've seen the like, it's basically a MAME cabinet, but they're like a few $100, and it's just like an arcade stick that you can plug into your TV and get the same experience. Just way easier. Something you can take and put out of the way.
Yeah, I agree.
They have this at Costco. They have a Star Wars mini pinball machine, and my son was like, "Oh, this is cool," because he likes to play the Batman pinball machine. And my wife was like, "Should we buy this for him?" I'm like, "No, absolutely,
you have
we
a
should
real
not."
pinball machine.
Yeah,
and
we
he
have
probably
a real
likes
one.
Batman.
Yeah, so, but she was like, "This would be fun in his room," and I was just like, "Mm-mm, mm-mm." And it was Star Wars, so I was tempted. But okay. Anyways, let's actually move on to your second item, shall we? Like that wasn't a real suggestion. That's just like something to talk about. If you are considering something like that, please, like, if you don't want the MAME cabinet, there are other cheaper solutions. You don't have to just buy an arcade one-up that you won't know where to put. And you're stuck with like 4 games unless you're planning on modding it. But if you're planning on modding it, like what are you even doing?
Yeah, I mean, like the arcade one-up. Maybe they've improved the quality of their controls because I only played the originals when they first came out, but damn, they were bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I mean, NES Homebrew, Johnny. We're talking about gifts that I wouldn't be unhappy to receive. I'd be like, okay, you got me something, and this is now part of my collection. I am happy to have received this because with video games, like the best thing you can get for your collection is something you actually wanted to collect. A complete in-box copy of Secret of Mana for the Super Nintendo. That's what I actually want, but no one can buy that for you because no one knows like exactly what condition you want. They might like not get the registration card. And like if they get you the wrong copy of the game, they've done nothing for you. They've given you something that you have to get rid of now so you can go get the right copy of the game. So that's why people can't buy you video games.
I agree. It's super hard being a collector and telling your loved ones how to buy you games. Which is why this episode exists.
But yeah, NES Homebrew. Everybody likes NES because it's the best console and the most collectible console. And we're living in the age of NES Maker. And oh my God, are there so many Nintendo games coming out? I mean, you can look up what games are coming out. I will say you just missed Christmas Crisis on Kickstarter, which would have been a very topical game.
Hold on.
It's a little thematic platformer. I don't think Christmas Crisis looks like special. I think the fact that it's Christmas themed is maybe special. There's only so many Christmas themed games. Yeah, but you missed it because you're listening to this show now. So you can't get that.
No, I don't think you have because it says on the Kickstarter, we offer a Christmas Green Collector's Limited Edition that won't be further available once the campaign is over, which makes it sound like regular copies will be available when the campaign is over.
I mean, if this is on Kickstarter now, this is probably more of a next year thing, but all right. The Meeting is on Kickstarter. The Meeting, MEATING. That's a Morphcat Games game. You can basically go to Morphcat Games. That's like a really big publisher. I have no idea how they're big enough to stay in business, but they publish a lot of new Nintendo games, which you would think like, who is buying new NES homebrew? Like, what are there, like 80 guys in the entire world that are like really into buying new Nintendo games? But apparently, like, they're putting out new games kind of all the time for Nintendo, Game Boy, Sega Genesis. I'm surprised how big the physical homebrew industry is. And it kind of makes me think that once physical video games die, like, there will probably be a fairly significant, like, limited run games type publishing thing for all the stupid people who want to keep buying this stuff.
Did you mention how much Christmas Crisis is?
Most of the homebrews are like $60 complete in box. They're like $40 cards, 60 complete in box kind of.
The limited edition, which you won't be able to buy, was $135.
Which is a total scam. But you know what? I mean, you guys are making the homebrew NES games. We're just the ones buying them. I appreciate that you're scamming us. Because, oh my God, limited edition homebrew has been such a scam over the years. Just like I have done nothing to this except I numbered like 30 copies. And those other $100 more for the numbered copy.
So tell me about The Meeting. Would you call this a Halloween game or a horror game?
It's a platformer that's very. Are you like a cow? It's very
a minotaur.
It's
Tyler.
Is it Abadoxy? Because it's very gutsy in how much meat there is on screen. I don't care about the meaning. I was just trying to bring up a Morph Cat game, kind of like a medium to high quality homebrew that is coming out now. I just want to bring up that they're coming out now. I have no particular affinity towards the meeting.
Okay.
Johnny, know what else I don't have a particular affinity for is Retro USB's 8-Bit Xmas series, which is a series of homebrew NES games made by one... I don't know if they're made by one guy. They're physically assembled by Bunny Boy, who's one guy, the guy who runs the store Retro USB. But there have been, I think, a bunch of people helping him develop these. But every year, 8-Bit Xmas, new one comes out. It started in 2008. The original 2008 cartridge is, I don't know how many there were. Is it 30? It wasn't a lot. It was in like the dozens. And they're like so rare and so in like solid NES collections that are never moving them that this is like probably multiple thousands of dollars for an 8-Bit Xmas 2008 at this point. 2008, we're talking like mid Xbox 360 homebrew. That's probably in the thousands of dollars range now. But the newer one, and 2009, also pretty rare. I think most of the ones since then are they're more gettable, especially the modern ones, because he's going to have 2023 maybe out by the time you listen to this episode. And I think he has maybe 2019 through 2022 up, and you can buy the old ones.
You can buy the old ones?
Yeah. So that didn't always used to be a thing, but yeah, he's got, I think, the past 4 or so years up right now.
That's weird.
Like, I don't want to bash a beloved series of NES homebrew. The past 3 years have all, I think, been hacks of existing games. So I think last year was a Super Mario Brothers hack in the style of the Grinch. And like the game, like the code was changed. They made it into like an endless, almost Adventure Island type game where you have to keep collecting coins to keep the timer alive. And there was like a Dr. Mario hack, which was like a COVID riff or something in like 2020. And then there was an Excite Bike one where they made it with sleds.
Excite Duck.
I just think it's a little bit more special when it's like a ground up homebrew experience, Johnny. But at this point, I think so many people are invested in just buying this game every year that like, yeah, it's the perfect thing to say like, hey, there's a gift over here. It's like $50. You can get me that. I like Nintendo games.
Yeah, it's an easy...
And they'll feel like it's thematic, and you'll probably like it. Like, people love having the 8-Bit Xmas games in their collection, even if you will never have 2008 or 2009.
Yeah, I mean, and from there's also a lot of other, like, homebrews that you can get if you wanted to direct your loved one to buy you something like that.
I do want to bring something up, Johnny, if there are people like me... I do not have 8-Bit Xmas 2008 or 2009, which are very expensive and rare homebrew. Maybe not even like the rarest, just like so desirable because they're part of this like continuously ongoing series now. And lots of people buy the 8-Bit Xmas games, but no one can have a full set anymore because, there's only so many 2008. So here's my suggestion. 8-Bit Xmas 2017 was actually a multi-cart of the first 8 or 9 years. How many years is that? I think the first 9 years. So start with that. Start with the multi-cart and then collect from 17 on, and you'll still technically, in some sense, have the full set. And you won't have to go crazy that you're never going to own a $5,000 NES homebrew. Huh?
It's unfortunate. I like the idea. It's unfortunate though that it goes back on the website only back to 2018.
Yeah, 2017. It had an LCD built into the cartridge, and the cartridge label would change depending on which game in the multi-cart you were playing.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty ambitious. Like, that's some cool stuff. And there's none on eBay. And yeah, Josh, if you're listening to this show, Josh, I've offered you one. I've got one for you. I have 3 copies of this game, and one of them is yours. So I prepared for this situation. Johnny, I bought 3 copies of 8-Bit Xmas 2017 because I knew I was going to recommend to people that they start collecting with 2017.
Man.
Because it was going to be like the multi-cart. And you could say, I just ignore all the stuff before that. Like, all this shit's like Nintendo age era. Like, they made 50 copies. No one has that shit. Just start here. And for some reason, that's the year that Josh missed.
That's a good deal. Yeah, I I think I have like 2 of the Christmas ones. I don't have 2017.
You don't
That's
have
a
the
good idea.
SNES one? I would think you have the SNES one of all people.
No, I don't, because that like they only did that for a short while.
Yeah, I think there's 2 SNES ones from like the early 2010s. Probably
I-
really
I-
expensive.
I do have I have. Did they do 3 Halloween ones or just 2? I do have 2 of the Halloween ones.
I mean, the Halloween ones aren't part of a series, so I'm not sure exactly what you're talking
They
about.
they was doing 8-bit Halloween. He did it for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I don't remember that.
Unless someone else did them, and I'm just conflating.
There's
the two.
Haunted Halloween 85 and Haunted Halloween 86.
No.
All
Those,
right,
those no.
No?
They're
No.
these are real games.
These are real games.
Yeah.
All right,
Anyways,
Johnny, we've
I think they're like 2012. I think that's when they were from.
okay. Oh, that
Let's
means-
get it. Let's get into something that's easy to recommend. Easy to, you can go to a website. It's super easy to buy these, to tell your people where to go. Bitmap Books, Tyler. Pretty cool, pretty affordable, and they are, you would think they would be more expensive. Like they're like $40 for a lot of these books, and they feel nicer than $40.
I don't understand how they're so cheap, honestly.
Yeah.
Like they come in. I literally have one at my feet. Hold on. I've got the CRPG book here right here because I literally like look at this while I'm buying RPGs on eBay, and it comes in like a really nice classy cardboard slipcover type thing, and it's got like the embossed shiny text on the cover. And let me just look at how many pages are on this freaking book. Johnny, there's over 500 pages. It's like 520 pages. It's nuts, and it's full of like good information. It's not even like complete Wikipedia garbage. I hate those books that are completely Wikipedia garbage. I don't understand how they can literally physically produce and ship these books, let alone write them and like deal with all the layout and shit. And they're constantly putting them out and then sell them for $40. It's crazy.
I don't understand it. They've got a good one on point and click adventure games. They have one which I'm going to recommend, From Ants to Zombies. And that's 6 decades of video game horror. Though I don't agree that every game that they have in there is horror. You guys know that I have a very particular criteria, and a lot of these didn't meet my criteria, but still an excellent anthology of horror games in one book. And it's weird now because there's, oh my God, what is just happening? I'm sorry, Tyler, something weird just happened in my audio. Anyways, they have like 3 horror books that are available now, like from different companies. There was like no horror books, and now there's 3 all coming out within 8 months of each other.
We'll go get them. I don't know.
Yeah, you should. From Ants to Zombies. I mean, this is the easiest one to get because it's here. You can add it to your cart right now, and they will ship it to you.
I mean, you tell me. I mean, you have this book?
I've purchased it. It hasn't arrived yet.
Okay. I mean, you tell me how the history stuff is. Like, I think most of the bitmap books I've bought have been pretty good. I'm buying these as like historical references. I want the physical printed out. I understand I can find some of this information online in disparate sources, but I really like having one topic and there's a reference book. If it is like a really complete reference, I love that. The guide to Japanese role-playing games, I look at that book constantly. I'm just on Yahoo, just like constantly looking up like these stupid RPGs. I will like see a game, I will recognize like, okay, there's a fucking dude on the cover of this game holding a sword. What is this game? It says 1984, pretty early year for a computer RPG, and I'll go into the book and find it. And I love that book for that reason, because I mean, I could go find like the crappy Moby Games type source, which is going to tell me nothing about the game. Or maybe, hopefully, there's like a Hardcore Gaming 101 blog post on it. But having one book that I know has basically every JRPG from the era I'm interested in, certainly, I don't even look at the modern stuff. I love it.
Yeah, there's so many good books. They've got the Super Nintendo, Super Famicom Visual Compendium. They've got 2 RPG guides, the Japanese one and then the computer one. There's just a lot of good stuff. There's a book for you. Find a couple that you like and tell your people that this is what you want. And they're not even that expensive. So this is like a pretty easy gift. Highly recommend.
Yep. I can also give a big thumbs up, Johnny, to I'm Too Young to Die. I forgot. Maybe I got this for Christmas last year, or maybe I got it for like my birthday. Terrible name for a book. I hate that. But it's a book on FPS history. And Johnny, it's got a full 2-page spread of Phantom Slayer for the TRS-80, baby. Yeah!
Yeah, girl.
Game you might remember that we talked about 2 years ago on the Collector's Quest podcast. It is maybe sort of a predecessor to first-person shooters on the TRS-80. That book, it's got like, I don't know, maybe like 15, 20 pages on the stuff that came before Wolfenstein 3D, because obviously the game focuses on like Wolfenstein 3D and above, but like I know that shit. I don't care about that stuff. And as someone, I consider myself very well versed in FPS history now. I'm giving a big thumbs up to all of the choices for the pre-Wolfenstein 3D stuff. I think they got most of the hits. They didn't go crazy. They didn't go down to like 1970s Plato Network games. But Johnny, they've got Corporation, they've got The Colony, they've got a big interview with the guy who made The Colony, RoboCop 3, the Freescape engine games. If you don't know what any of these games are, there were some kind of FPS-like games before Wolfenstein, and they're kind of neat.
That is cool.
Anyway.
Pretty cool. I love
it. Man, video game history is so cool, Johnny.
It is pretty cool, and this is an easy repository of that.
And you could also tell your family to make a donation in your name to the Video Game History Foundation. Wouldn't that just be the best Christmas gift of all?
No. We're talking to a bunch of people like us who are materialists.
We want stuff. Okay, hold on. I'm thinking back to a recent episode of Josh Barley and Matt Rose's podcast. I can't ever remember the name of. I think it's the Video Game Collectors podcast. But the Video Game History Foundation at PRGE, they were selling like a little pamphlet for $15 that just had like a bunch of interviews and stuff. So maybe they sell that on their website. And I'm looking now, and it doesn't look like they do. So Frank Cifaldi, what the fuck? That's a donation incentive, and encourage people to donate.
It's like, guys, help us out. Help us help you. Give us something to buy.
You can still buy Mystery Box video game magazine. Oh my god. So they obviously like they've scanned and archived all these video game magazines, and you could just like buy the old ones, and it's like $20 for I think a random magazine. And the cover, like their promo picture for it shows Nintendo Power 1, and I think behind it is the second issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly. Let me tell you, for $20, I bet they're not sending you those issues.
No, they probably are not.
But you can enjoy your Nintendo Power 194.
You could. So this has all been from Bitmap, but I want to talk about a book from Fangamer while we're in here, and I talked about multiple horror books. So this is called The Horror, a collection of horror in video games, and this volume explores Mansion, Lost in Cult. This is an anthology series that they're doing over here, so we're going to get multiple of these. You can pre-order it. It comes out in August of 2024, and it's $42. So we're going to get so many horror books. I don't know what's happening.
All right, I don't want to poo-poo people putting down video game, like detailed, obscure video game information onto paper, because it's pretty much all good unless it's like Wikipedia bad, like low effort stuff. I have a bunch of those Hardcore Gaming 101 books. Like, but we're in like the renaissance of video game collecting books, or just like video game books in general, with like these bitmap books being like $40. This is like revolutionary shit. You used to have to like go buy these like cheaply produced Hardcore Gaming 101 books. There's like 60 pages long, and it's basically like a few Hardcore Gaming 101 articles stapled together into a book, which is fine. But it's not like an experience. It's not like this whole complete thing. It's not like, here's this 600-page book that has everything you need to know about this very niche topic. And I guess all these like disparate... I don't want a book of just like disparate horror games, because if I wanted just like random cool stuff, I could go to Hardcore Gaming 101 and click on some random articles, and a lot of them are super detailed, super obscure, and a lot of them are the only reference for the game they're talking about in English on the entire internet. And like, that's super good. But I don't need like a book that has, 20 of those type of games in it when the website exists. But if they instead of making like all these little onesie twosie horror books, if they just made the history of horror and it goes for like everything that actually matters, that would be more interesting to me. And potentially one of those books is that, but that's what I would be interested in.
So it looks like From Ants to Zombies is more of that. This one is filled with, it says interviews and essays and the history behind classic games. And it has art galleries and what inspired the games. So.
God damn, how thick is this book? This book looks like it's literally 600 pages. It's literally over 600 pages. How is this book $42?
I don't know.
I don't understand. I remember buying D&D books as a kid, and to get a book like a third as big as this or a quarter as big as this was like a $40 investment.
Easy. I think this game, it says it's only like 200 pages, so. Or are you talking From Ants to Zombies?
I'm looking at From Ants to Zombies. Maybe I would like From Ants to Zombies. Maybe that is more comprehensive.
That one is going to be more up your alley, I think.
All these books are so beautiful too, with like their giant screenshots, like multi-page spanning screenshots. But I guess that's just par for the course in like high end.
I think if you like any of the subject matter, that none of these books are going to fail you.
Yeah,
that would be my advice to you. Anyways, go pick up these. And there's another one, and someone sent me another one that's coming out, and I forget the title, so I'll have to just find that later and put it into our next episode. But That's it. Books. Hey, don't buy the Target books like that. That's so low hanging fruit. Don't do that. Get these instead.
All right. We've driven it into the ground.
All right, cool. Tyler,
what up?
You have some. Let's skip this one for now. Let's go to number 5. I like this suggestion a lot. And this seems like a weird suggestion, but
Johnny, I have everything. I don't need more stuff. Like the number one thing you could buy me right now, I need like one more IKEA Billy bookcase. But you could also get really useful boxes, which we hype up on the show. Maybe telling your family to literally buy you storage totes is the thing you could do this Christmas.
And like I said, that seems like a weird suggestion, but man, my wife knows. She's like, you sure love to buy boxes to put your stuff in. And I do. I love little boxes that fit all of my things very neatly. It makes me feel good inside, Tyler. I don't know if you get the rush, like the little endorphin rush of like when things all fit into a box perfectly. But for me, that's like art. That's high art. I'm just like, look at how perfectly everything fits. No dumb gaps. That's just enough height, but there's not a bunch of wasted space. Yeah. Beautiful. I love it.
So the problem, which I think some of you might be dealing with, if you go to Walmart and you buy plastic totes, is they're not rectangular prisms. They have like smaller bottoms and tops. Why would anyone ever want that? I don't understand. Just make squares. Your Walmart, you could make it for like $1 per tote and sell it for $5, and we'd all be happy, and this wouldn't have to exist.
It's so they can stack them. That's the only reason.
You could stack really useful boxes. Could we just get an engineer to like figure out how to make a stackable rectangular prism? This can't be that hard of a problem to solve.
Tyler, I mean, the way the totes are shaped now, you can slide more totes into it. Like a lot more.
Oh, you can stack them like that. Yeah, all right, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Not like on top of each other, which is also nice. A lot of these boxes and really useful boxes are stackable. And depending on the sizes you buy, sometimes you can stack 2 of the smaller ones on top of a bigger one. It's great. You can find really useful boxes at like, what is it? Office Depot. I found some of these that we're talking about, but also the Container Store has a bunch of these. So yeah, really useful boxes are great. Amazon, you can find them. They're usually more expensive, though.
I wouldn't buy them on Amazon. So really useful boxes, they sell them directly in the USA. Now this is a UK-based company. I don't know what their shipping prices are. So the thing with Office Depot is Office Depot has 25% coupons like constantly. It's like a Bed Bath & Beyond type thing. And you don't need to sign up or anything. It'll just be like one day on their website, just like 25% off. And like this doesn't work if you're getting it as a gift, but you guys are listening to this podcast. You're just going to buy the stuff you want yourself. But they also have free shipping. So you get 25% off and then free shipping, if you like spend $100. So I would buy stacks of these they was like come to my house and like I wouldn't be able to see my front door because it's just covered in really useful boxes.
They're so good though.
They are
so good.
So I like the 17-liter one is my favorite, Johnny. If we're going to give specific recommendations,
Yes.
it holds 40 DVDs, like exactly correctly. Or in the other direction, it holds however many CDs. It holds 3 rows of CDs, and there's like no wiggle room. It's a nice box.
That sounds like an nice box, Tyler.
And then I also have a lot of the 64-liter ones, which you probably don't need. They're just the Walmart totes, but like bougie versions of them, and they are totally not worth it. But I'm a bougie bitch. What can I say?
So I've got my alternate boxes that I get from Target. I've got like 2 sizes that fit really well if you want to go lower tier on them. But really useful boxes are the Supreme. Here's my suggestion to everybody though. Single layer only. No tote where you're stacking games on top of it. Single layer. And I'm not just talking about for games. I'm talking about anything you put in your garage. If it can fit in a single layer, buy 2 boxes. Like, your life is going to be so much better if you can just, like, open the lid and see everything that's in that box.
You don't even need to open the lid. It's a clear lid.
Yes, for these ones. But other boxes, I'm telling you, doesn't matter. Single layer only, guys. It's going to change your life. You're young and strong now, but eventually you're, like... I have these giant totes, like, I think they're like 55-gallon totes from when I was younger, and I'm just like, what was I thinking? Like, what was I, fucking Hercules back in the day, just like lifting these up onto high shelves? This is the dumbest thing I ever did. Single layers.
Johnny, when the first time I ever moved, like after college, I went and I bought a bunch of moving boxes, and I'm like, oh, I have a bunch of stuff. Better get the large boxes. And I quickly realized that I'm a huge dumbass. When you put stuff into boxes, they become heavy. So part of the reason I'm recommending the 17-liter boxes, which is 40 DVDs, or, a bunch of CDs, or a bunch of Nintendo cartridges, or like 20 complete box NES games, really versatile size, is because that's like, you can pick that up and not want to die. It's, as we enter our old age, Johnny, I am in my 30s now. Very old. It's nice to be able to actually pick up my games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 45 now, Tyler, and this is the best decision I've ever made. I've spent so much money.
This is the best decision you've ever made?
Yeah.
Mine was to marry my wife. I don't know if she's listening to me edit this.
I'm talking within regards to how I keep my games, not in life, not in all of life, but as far as storage, like going down to a single layer, dude, life changing, so much better.
Also, just own fewer games. That's pretty good too. I need to get rid of all my Wii games. So I do have their DVDs in these boxes. So they are a single layer, but I stack the boxes up 3 high and shove them under pinball machines. So the fact that they're a single layer doesn't really help me because I still have to pull out the entire stack of 3 boxes. It's like a little bit convenient to be able to move them an entire stack at a time. But the problem is, Johnny, man, what was it? Like 4 years ago, maybe GameStop had a sale and like 900 Wii games were $250. And I bought hundreds of Wii games. And Johnny, I don't fucking care. What was I doing? They don't even, I don't know, something about if like a random Super Nintendo game, like I could get into it. Like I look at it and I'm like, well, it's programmed in like assembly. Like someone put a lot of effort into this, even if this is just a huge pile of balls. And I just do not feel that way about Wii games.
But Tyler, they're Nintendo products.
See, that's the only reason I haven't sold them yet.
So let me. Here's also more improve your life. If you just do an inventory system, if you just write if you just letter those boxes A, B, and C, or whatever naming convention you want, and then have your list of what's in that box. Like box A has these items. Then you don't have to dig through boxes. You just go to your list and you're like, oh, it's in box B, and life gets a lot better.
Yeah, I have done something like that in the past. Right now, everything's a mess. The problem is if you don't keep up with it, everything becomes useless.
This is the problem with all solutions, Tyler. Like if you don't keep on top of it, like if you don't enter your games into your spreadsheets all the time, if you're not tracking, if you wait like 4 months and then you're behind and then you just get further behind, then you're just like, well, now this is a giant project and it's going to eat up days of my life to get back to square one. And then you're like, I swear I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to be good and I'm going to stay on top of it. I'm not going to let this shit happen again. And then here we are 8 months later and you let it happen again. How dare you?
If I fixed it, like if I fixed my current situation, which is like beyond fucked, like I have to start over from square one. Like during the pandemic, even I went through the box contents of all my Sega Genesis games. Like I 100% like buttoned up my Sega Genesis collection. And I think I would just start over from there. Even everything needs to like taken off shelves, reorganized, recataloged. It's like a multi-month long project at this point. I think the best thing to do would be to sell a bunch of garbage that I don't need, like perhaps my loose Famicom and Super Famicom cartridges and like maybe my Wii games before I even attempt to start again.
That might be a good idea. I think I like that idea. All right. But that's really useful boxes. They are really useful. They're great.
We love them.
And like I said, it's going to feel weird to tell people who love you to buy you a box. But if you're like us, that's a great gift. If you brought me really useful boxes, I would be very genuine in my, oh my God, thank you so much. I know exactly where to put this. Yeah, like I would be excited. It would be real excitement too.
Can I also say, Johnny, this is perhaps a way for you to enjoy collecting with your spouse, because Ada also likes really useful boxes, but not the big ones. They go down to like 0.3 liters, which is like different sizes of like almost pencil case size.
Yeah, they have these at Michael's Crafts.
So yeah, if your spouse maybe likes some crafty little boxes, you guys can enjoy your very bougie and expensive for what they are British box brand.
Yeah. So yeah, here's your 3 stores again: Office Depot, the Container Store, and Michael's Crafts.
Yeah.
There you go.
To be clear, I think it's like $20 for a 17 liter. And like, man, $20 for like a small tote does not
Feels
feel
bad.
good. You just have to rationalize it by saying like, okay, that's 50 cents per DVD game. That's not that much. It's the same as putting box protectors on it. You buy box protectors, like, oh my God, I'm spending $300 on box protectors. But you have to remember like, okay, that's just like an extra $1 per game. It's not that bad. It's worth it.
And that's the problem with like box protectors, right? That example we were talking about, like, oh, I'm going to be good and make sure all of my stuff has box protectors. And that's fine if you're staying on top of it. And then you're like, well, I guess I'm spending $500 on box protectors today because I didn't stay on top of it. And now this feels insane. But when you just break it down, you're like, this is costing me like 50 cents a game. That's not too bad. So.
All right. What else we got, Johnny? How long is this up? What are we even doing? We're an hour in. It's not too bad.
No. So, and I got some more dumb stuff to talk about. I want to talk about Fangamer and I Am 8-Bit. These are websites that you can buy a lot of stuff. We talked about the tchotchkes to avoid, but there are some things that you can get there that these are easy recommends. So they have a lot of shirts for interesting games, indie games, like popular games that you aren't going to find at Target. Okay, I know Target and Walmart are easy places for your spouse or significant other or whatever family to buy you a shirt, but please stop wearing the classically trained shirts or just one with a Nintendo controller.
You can't say that. People listening to this podcast have those shirts.
I know they do. And I'm trying to help them. I'm helping you. So go to these sites, tell them some games you like, look to see if there's shirts for those, and then maybe recommend them. You're like, oh man, they've got a bunch of obscure game shirts here. And then when you like go to a game convention, you don't look like everybody there. You're going to find 40 guys in like a basic Mario shirt that says like 1-up, in the middle of it that was sold at Target. Just, you don't need to be that guy. And then you get to walk around and be that guy. And they're like, hey, that's a cool shirt, dude. Where did you get that? Be that guy instead. And these are 2 sites where you can make that happen. So they've got that. They also have video game soundtracks, and I know not everyone's into records, but like you can get some vinyl there if you're into vinyl collecting. Lots of soundtracks. These are also collectible, like more collectible stuff to, pair with your other collectible stuff. If you're not into soundtracks, then don't do this, but I know a lot of our listeners are. But these are like cool art pieces. Sometimes it's just the box art, but what do we say? Oh man, the box art is so small. Records are nice and big, and there are plenty of solutions if you want to hang them up and just make it like a poster or whatever. And if you have a record player, then great, you can listen to them too, and all the better. So there's a lot of cool soundtracks there. And then we already talked about the books that you can find at both of these sites. So these are the 3 items that I recommend, like types, to get from Fangamer and I Am 8-Bit. Okay? Just these kind of things. Tell your family to go there, bookmark the site for them, help them out, help them buy you stuff. Got anything to add to that?
No, Johnny, I'm an adult. I just wear button-down t-shirts now. I wear short sleeve button-down shirts. It's the perfect for like a little bit casual, a little bit business. It's the everything shirt, Johnny.
Do you wear just plain button-downs?
That's all I wear. I don't wear any t-shirts.
You are so boring.
T-shirts. Forget t-shirts. Who wants?
No, get exciting shirts. I'm an advocate of the exciting and interesting shirt.
Oh, mine. It's very exciting. It's got these lines in different directions. It's called plaid, Johnny.
You are so disappointing on so many levels. Just your fucking plain ass mug, your plaid shirt. You're a very interesting person, but you just you put your outer shell and it is the most boring.
My desktop background is just the color black.
No, Tyler, no. You don't even have a fun... Are you kidding me right now? You have a black background?
Yeah. It makes it easy to see my icons, which I don't really use anymore. So it's really just it looks like my monitor's off.
Dude, you just use shit in the taskbar or type in the search bar. What do you care?
Yeah. So
it's not 2005.
Black, it's nice and clean.
Buddy, put a nice picture on there or something. There's a lot of themes. You can have it where it'll just cycle through pictures for you.
Nah, you don't need that. You need it nice and simple. It's so funny. Like I love like IKEA furniture because it's like the most no frills furniture, and I like black desktop background, plain black coffee mug, plain shirts, and then you look behind me, and my life is dominated by these colorful video games. It's a paradox.
You are so much more interesting than all of your other choices make you seem.
Thank you. I'm gonna say thank you to that one, Johnny.
Yeah, I think you can thank that one. Man, just no fun shirts at all.
No, the ones that I still have are just like left over from like years ago. At this point, like I have a really cool Resident Evil. It's like a zip up sweater. And I think I found it at Goodwill. And it's just got a giant zombie head on the back. And I'm like, man, this is maybe too cool to get rid of. But, and I've got like a giant bomb hoodie from 10 years ago. And other than that, it's all like pretty businessy, Johnny. We're a pretty not fun person. You've been to conventions with me. You've never seen me wear a gaming t-shirt. I'm always just like dressed up like a normal guy.
Yeah, but you can be normal and then just like spice it up a little bit.
I mean, the plaid is the spicy part.
I mean, look, I'm a guy who
you know what? I do have Patagonia sun hoodies. I wear those a lot now.
Yeah, look.
Those are also plain color.
Yeah, Patagonia stuff can be a little boring, if you ask me. Some of the patterns. They could go harder. Anyways, sometimes they do. Sometimes there's some fun ones. But a lot of times, it's real basic. Tyler, I'm gonna throw out one more weird suggestion. Because I know there's a lot of crossover with this, and I don't understand this. This isn't for me. But there are a lot of board games based on video games. I don't understand this, but there's a lot of them. So if this is a thing that if you are into board games and need them to be video game based, like Amazon is the place for you. Like any big game in the last 10 years pretty much has a video game based on it, or there's classic board games, but you can go as hard as you want on this one. You want a Resident Evil game? There's a board game for that. You want Assassin's Creed? There's a board game for that. It's kind of weird.
There's a Divinity Original Sin board game. It's $150.
There's Dark Souls.
Yep.
Yeah, go get it. There's Stardew Valley. You want some Stardew Valley games?
I'm going to say maybe don't get it, Johnny. I
How
feel
about
like these are I mean, you're not a board game collector. If you're Stefan and you're out there collecting board games, fine.
how about
How
Sea of
often are you going to
Thieves?
play Divinity Original Sin, the board game, with your hardcore nerd crew before they're like, okay, but like, what's the next game we got going on? I feel like everyone always wants to play a new game, so maybe don't spend $150 on the video game board game and just get like, the popular $60 board games.
Look, I think I agree with you, but I'm saying if you need some of this stuff, if you just need someone to buy you something, like you can tell them, hey, I would really love Monopoly, but please get me the Witcher version.
Don't get Monopoly. We got all these.
Yeah.
There must be so many video games that actually have like good European style board game mechanics. Don't get Witcher
They
Monopoly.
do. There are so many. You can get Skyrim and Bloodborne. There's so many games out there. And there's Kingdom Hearts. There's 100 different games you could get, like Doom, which I believe is actually a highly rated board game. Did you know this?
I did not know that. I don't care anymore. This is a category in my life that I have seriously cut down on. I used to have so many board games because board
Same.
games in general, like even like some of the best board games of all time, frequently on Amazon for $20 shipped. So I'm just like, oh, okay, this is like top 50 of all time on Board Game Geek. Let me just buy 7 of these. And then I'd play them once and they'd be sitting around forever. And I hated that being my life. So now you come to my house, we're playing Puerto Rico because that's the game I have. And I got like 1 2-player game, Twilight Struggle, but no one ever plays that with me.
No one wants to play Twilight Struggle.
Yeah, my best friend likes playing Twilight Struggle with me, but it's just like the one guy. But you come to my house with a group, it's got 5 people. That's enough. That's almost enough to cater to any group that's going to be over my house. I don't have big groups over my house, and we're going to play Puerto Rico because it's my favorite game. And like the world has moved on. People are like, oh yeah, Puerto Rico was a cool game 10 years ago. Well, let me tell you about the advancements in European-style board game mechanics, and actually worker placement games have really become got a lot more strategic than the simplicity of. You never get to play a game enough to actually like understand the strategy. Every board game I've played, Johnny, in my entire life, I've played like 3 times, and that's not enough to get like good at a board game. I have played Puerto Rico so goddamn much now, I understand the mechanics. When someone is picking a production building, I understand what's going on their tableau. Like, I'm thinking about what they're trying to do and what I'm trying to do, and it's like I'm actually playing the fucking board game, and that almost never happens when you're just playing a random new board game.
No, and that's
guys, sell your board games. Go down to 1, become an expert in it. Problem with this is that you're going to start destroying everyone you play because you're only going to play 1 board game. But it is so much more fun to actually understand the mechanics of a board game rather than just being like struggling through it. And it's like, oh, someone won, but none of us really knew the rules that well. So is that victory really that sweet?
I would say maybe move past 1, maybe narrow it to 3, but I'm with you. Cut board games out of your life, unless you're that person who already collects them. So just letting you know that if you're a person who collects board games on the side, you can get video game based ones all on Amazon. Anyways.
Also, I just got to say, like, you can't sell board games because guess what? You bought them all for $20 new on Amazon. That means like they're not worth the cost of shipping. So what you do, you literally take all your board games over to your other board game friend's house and you're like, hey, special delivery. These 70 games are your problem now. You don't want them? Throw them out. That's what I did.
Yeah. Yes, I have a few that I'm there with. And like, there's so many games that I bought and I'm just like, what am I doing with this dumbass game? This giant ass game.
Yep.
And that's what it's just like.
You look at like the big complicated games and you're like, man, this game looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, what are the situations where I'm going to get 4 people to sit down and learn to play this, let alone play it multiple times? I'm not that guy, Johnny. I'm just not that guy.
Nope.
I can get people to play it once and then they're going to be like, whew, that was a lot. Can we play Catan next time?
Yeah.
Nope, sorry, I don't have Catan. It's Puerto Rico.
Oh, you don't have a Catan? Like, come on.
This is the problem. See, there are games like Catan and House on Haunted Hill has always been, The Haunting of Hill House. No, what is it? What's the one that's like basically random chance and there's no strategy. It just tells a story.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever that game is, like you have like those games, and like it doesn't matter what cool games you have. If there's a like the group think will be like, well, everybody knows how to play Catan. That's an easy game to learn. We could all just play Catan. So when you have games like that, they just become the default, and I hate that so much. So now there's one default.
Well,
it's fucking Puerto Rico.
Well, that's what's nice about Catan is everyone usually knows how to play it, and so you can play like real and strategic games. And I think you're thinking of Betrayal at Hill House.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm thinking.
Or Betrayal at House of the Hill. That's what it is.
Oh my god. Yes.
It's got a clunky title because
it became harder since the Hill House TV series came out because now there's even more stuff to keep straight.
Yes. Anyways, look, I like Catan. If you've never seen people play competitive Catan, it's awesome. But you have to be nerdy enough to like that sort of thing.
Johnny, let me be one of those guys. I don't like games that have dice. Okay, I like strategic games, please.
Oh, yeah. So here's what happens. Just like life, sometimes random things happen to you. And how do you deal with and adjust to those situations and still come out on top? Because the top players still win most of the time. So how's that happening if everything is just random chance? Explain yourself.
I don't know. It happens in Magic the Gathering too, and that's all random chance, John. It's all just bullshit.
Yeah, it's all just luck. All luck. Yep. Cool. Good argument. You're bad at games. Anyways, so that's another thing you can do. And then I just we're gonna do some ubiquitous, just like easy stuff. Lego, Tyler. There's a bunch of Nintendo Lego that you can tell your people to buy you, but there's a very good one right now that I like, and it's only like $60, and it's the Lego Piranha Plant. Easy display. It's a complete object. You don't have to worry about minifigures or any of this other random nonsense. It's not $600. It's not 5 million pieces. This is a real quick, easy set to build. They do have now a bunch of Sonics like Lego sets out there if you're into the minifigure thing. And they also have a Sonic and Tails brickhead. So if you want like little display tchotchkes, there's a thing you can buy. And those are nice because those are like $10 to $15 each, those brickheads. And some of the Sonic sets are like $20. So these are cheap, easy things that you can ask people to get you. And yeah, the easy stuff, but we don't need to go into too much detail on that. And I know some people were curious. Yes, Mega Man X, the 30th anniversary is still available on IM8-bit. And you could still not ask for that game. Yeah, this is so weird because they said it's the 30th anniversary, but this game came out in 93. So they were, and now we're at 30 years. So what are they taught? Where is their 30 years from?
Is it the 30th anniversary of Rockman? Because it says since 1987. So that would mean that this game came out in...
Maybe it's just a 30th anniversary of the franchise as a whole.
Wait, does that math? So this would have came out in 2017.
Because it's been out for 5 years. Yeah, it's been out for 5 years, yeah.
Okay, so, well, all right, we've actually missed our chance to do the 35th anniversary then, because that was last year.
Yeah. So 36th anniversary of Mega Man.
No, this is a real idea. And I think that I am 8-bit, I mean, you're game collectors. I mean, this is probably topical to you that you guys want to know, like, did the Collector's Quest podcast recommend any of our products that we could put on the front page? Like, I'm sure I am 8-bit is totally listening to the Collector's Quest podcast. But Blizzard PC games from the 2000s, Johnny. I'm talking World of Warcraft, Diablo 2. Whenever they sold another million copies, they would slap a new sticker on the box. So World of Warcraft has like a dozen sticker variants. It's like 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, 8 million, 9 million copies sold. And like some of them are weird. Like the 9 million copy sold sticker is a kind of rare one because maybe they thought like, we might as well just wait for the 10. I don't know. Sticker variants for this stupid old Mega Man X cartridge that you can't sell. You guys can't sell it. You produced 8,500 copies of a physical Super Nintendo game. I don't know who you thought the market was. I understand Mega Man X is a killer game, but guys, holy crap, you must have got a killer deal on this. We're gonna sell them though. Here we go. Every year, print a new sticker. 36th anniversary of Mega Man. 37th anniversary of Mega Man. Some small contingent of stupid limited run games people. I'm not saying limited run games people. I'm talking about limited print. The limited print games community will buy it just for the sticker variant, no matter what it is. So like you could maybe sell like 20 copies every year as long as you keep putting out these stickers, and eventually you'll have to sell through your whole stock. And then like some of the stickers become rarer because like maybe people are like the second year they're like, oh, they're doing the same gimmick, I'm not going to buy that again. And then like all of a sudden, whoa, the 37th anniversary stickers are really rare. And then maybe that drums up interest to buy the 38th anniversary sticker. It's just a good idea. Sticker variants for this unsold bullshit Mega Man X are a good idea, Johnny.
I agree. Let's do it.
I am 8-bit, like, I'm giving this for free, but you could hire me and we're going to sell some other unsold crap. I know how the collector mind works. We are dumb as shit, and then we fall for this stuff all the time. John Romero burned his 9 Doom levels onto a floppy disk, and he charged another 90 euros for the privilege. He's 90 euros to write a small file to a floppy disk? He's got it figured out. Because we're like, oh my god, floppy disks. I love floppy disks. I'll pay anything for a floppy disk. This is the kind of thinking we need to bring to these stupid, unsold retro games.
Look, if the sealed video game market is crashing, we got to think outside the box. We have to reapply ourselves to what was making collectors buy before. And this is the kind of thinking we need, Tyler.
All right. Yes. Johnny, with my marketing genius and your data analytics, we could start our own stupid retro company.
Oh my God, we would sell so many things, Tyler.
And so the funny thing, I'm looking through I'm on IM8bit just looking at all their garbage. Like, they have a gimmick pin, and I would never let us sell a gimmick pin. I'd be like, gimmick? Who the fuck knows what gimmick is? Unsurprisingly, the gimmick pin, which I believe we mentioned last year, is on sale now, Johnny. It's not $10. It is now $9.
Oh, good sale. Still no thank you. Still no thanks. Anyways, hire Tyler and I, and we will give us your trash, and we will make it collectible.
We'll hype it. We're the market manipulators right here. All right? You just give us a roll of stickers, I can sell you anything.
Can I talk to you about serialized cards that come with games?
Oh man. Oh, we just got to find the manufacturer. Okay. All right. No, wait, we're getting off on another tangent now cuz people, they have gift ideas. Johnny, the Super Mario Wonder trading cards. What the hell happened there?
Oh, buddy.
I bought this game at the last minute from Amazon. I didn't even think to look at pre-order bonuses. But Walmart, if you pre-ordered it, you got a pack of Super Mario Wonder trading cards. And inserted into those packs were 1,000 Elephant Mario trading cards. And the packs were selling for like $40 for a $60 pre-order. And the card is selling for like $800.
Yeah, it is crazy. I don't know how many cards are in this set, but these are all over eBay now. If you want to waste a bunch of your money, you can go spend $40 on a pack. But they did put that rare elephant card in there, and man, it is just driving sales.
The thing is, like, 1,000 is not a rare trading card. So I have not collected a lot of trading cards. I've mostly collected wrestling cards of all things. But like out of number to 99 is like the bullshit common version. I realize this is Mario, so we're talking like John Cena. But even John Cena, like you don't want a card that's numbered to 99. You want a card that's numbered to like, you know, if you're like on a budget, like to 25. 25 is like an uncommon decent trading card to have. 1,000 is complete bullshit. I could almost understand if this was the Mario trading card, but it's Elephant Mario, which is not an appealing character.
Look, Elephant Mario at 1,000 is fine, but let me help you sell this. Look, I'm going to have like 3 different foil treatments, and I'm going to have different levels of serialization. You're going to want all the best serialized cards. I'm going to make a special version of Mario, Luigi, Peach, you know, all mainstay characters. They're all going to be there. Bowser, Toad. We're going to have those, and there's going to be like an alternate foil serialized version of them down to just 25, and those things are really going to make money.
I mean, you run the risk of people getting parallel fatigue where they just like, there's too many parallels. They don't understand what's out there. Everything is rare, so nothing is rare.
So look, here's the thing though. We don't actually sell packs of cards. That's not what we do. We just put them in the game, Tyler.
Isn't this literally what limited run games does?
Yeah, but they just put cards in there and then they put like some with a gold border, but didn't explain it to anyone. But if I'm Switch and we've gotten rid of manuals and everything, the one thing I'm putting in there now, if I'm a Nintendo product, is just this one card.
Oh my god, what if this was like a test to be like, oh, will this get people to buy more games if we have stupid trading cards? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's happening. Johnny, we're getting trading cards with our video games in the future.
We've talked about this for a long time, Tyler.
Yeah. Everyone loves a trading card.
Sure.
Not really. I don't like having trading cards. I like opening trading cards and seeing if I got the good stuff, though. And then I'd like throw them in a shoebox and be like, all right, well, I got that.
Yep, it's great. That's exactly what you do with them.
What a scam.
It's a complete scam. Anyways, let's talk about, now that we're talking about games, let's talk about some like real easy games that you could ask someone to buy you. And these are the most generic of generic games because you might just think, look, I collect games and these people want to buy me a game. So here are my suggestions. I'm just going to run through these quick. Add any that you want. I know you've got some up on your list, some more specialized one. But here's like, you can buy these on Amazon. You can buy these at Best Buy, Target. Tell your grandma this is what you want. Spider-Man 2, real easy. If you're into Spider-Man and you didn't buy it already, put that on your list. Super Mario RPG, the remaster is coming out on the Switch. Super easy game to put on your list. And, you can keep it sealed and then make a mint because that's how that works. Super Mario Brothers Wonder, like we just talked about. There's a new Dragon Quest Monsters. That's cool. The Batman Arkham trilogy is coming out with just on the Switch, and that has all 3 of the Arkham games. So that's pretty cool. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge Anniversary Edition. I can't actually believe this exists because it's hard to have. What is this? The 1-year anniversary of the game? But I guess
that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Skyrim was on shelves for like 10 years, just like regular ass Skyrim, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah. This is the anniversary, but it does have the DLC and it's got a different packaging. So if you haven't got it already, this is one you can easily put out there. And here's my dumb pick of the episode, though, for this. The Star Wars Heritage Pack. Have you heard of this?
I have not. I heard you get excited for it when you found out it existed.
Yeah, I have not heard of this thing. Basically, Limited Run re-released a bunch of Star Wars games on the Switch and like Xbox and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So this thing, and I don't know if it's just the Switch, but this is incredible. There's 7 games on this thing, Tyler. 7. Jedi Knights 2, Star Wars The Force Unleashed, Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2, Republic Commando, and Star Wars Racer. All for like $60. Coming out like on December 8th.
Johnny, maybe I'm too old to get excited for this, but back in my day, when you released a bunch of old games in a compilation on like 5 years after they were released, that was just called like a budget bundle. And they would be like $30.
Sure. I just think this is incredible value. Like, how cool is this? You probably already own all of these individually, but if you didn't get them, like...
See, the problem, no, this isn't marketed towards people who are like, oh, I'm going to play 7 Star Wars games. It's for the people who have those 7 Star Wars games and are like, well, I could buy this thing too, because this is also a Star Wars thing, and I love owning Star Wars things.
True.
Consume.
True. Yep. You should consume all of them. But, this is on the Switch. What a cool little thing. I wonder how many of them are actually physically included. And how many are just downloads?
Oh my god. You're talking about like my least favorite thing, which is it's not always the bundles, but it'll be like a double pack of games, one on the cartridge, one is DLC. What the fuck are you talking about? This is like a 1-pack a game with a pre-order bonus. This is not a double pack.
So it looks like there's 5 games on here that are actually on the cart.
And then 2 are downloadable?
Yeah, it looks like the Knights of the Old Republic games are downloads.
This is like, so again, like super happy I'm not making lists for Switch or anything. This is like an entirely new category of video game now where it's not a physical video game. It's not like a download code in a box. It's both. It's so weird.
Very hard to keep track of.
Like, does that count if you don't have the unused download codes?
I don't know. Getting pretty dicey. Hey, here's my last game. And this is if you want some family stuff going on. And just because if you are of the family having age and they are young and you want to play some games with your family, they're making a Bluey game for all the major consoles, Switch, Xbox, PS5, PS4. So grab that because Bluey is awesome. And you can play it with your kids. I know you have no idea what that even is. Don't worry about it.
You told me what Bluey was once, but I just know it's some kid's thing.
Yep, it's great.
All right.
I know you got a couple more specialized games.
I mean, whatever. I just looked on these websites. Like Baba Is You is still in stock. I think that's one of the best puzzle games ever made. It's Sokoban with not programming logic, but it's crazy. Look at Baba Is You. Johnny, I want to talk about Celeste Deluxe Edition. I don't care when this came out. Johnny, one of the top things on my shelf right now is limited run games Celeste, which I literally bought because I was like looking, I'm like what? Celeste is like a major game. You're telling me that limited run game, even through their stupid bullshit pre-order model, which by the way, guys, Limited Run Games is not a limited run game company. They're just a video game publisher because they make however many people want to buy. But Celeste, major game, still coming out through limited run games. And that limited edition, like, kind of cool. Like, I realize there's still thousands of them, but all right. You could go on, like, Fangamer and buy, like, the Celeste Deluxe Edition. And it's a big box. It has, like, an art book and, like, a bunch of, like, the stupid limited edition game garbage that you get now. You can't have two different publisher deluxe limited editions of the same game. That's crazy. What are we doing?
Tyler, this is the world we live in now.
I understand publisher variants. I understand like this game was here and like, all right, we want to do a reprint. We're going with a different publisher, but like the limited edition must be called the limited edition. The limited run games one at least. And then there's just another one that's I can't handle it, Johnny. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, Celeste is a cool game. Do I want the other limited edition? And it's like, no, they're scamming me. I can't collect modern games. I hate all this stuff. Just no.
Have you thought about just buying it anyways, though?
Nope. Oh, but what is it like? It's like $70. It's not even that expensive, I think. And no, I'm not buying it, Johnny. Stop it. No one needs this stuff.
I like that you paused to think about it for a second, though.
Yeah. And the other one I had on my list was World of Horror, just because I think you would like that. I'd be surprised if you don't own that, Johnny.
Already pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Just waiting for it to arrive. Junji Ito and H.P. Lovecraft. What do you want?
I have they have not worked on that game. It's just inspired by Junji Ito. I don't think Junji Ito has actually worked on it. It seems more violent than Junji Ito stuff usually is.
Yeah.
I love the Steam promo page. You bring up this game on Steam and like there's an auto playing video and the video is just a girl walking into a bathroom and stabbing herself in the neck. And that's it. And it's like, yeah, okay. I guess I want to play this game. This really seems up my alley. Yeah. Anyway, if you like weird, uncomfortable horror, that one looks fun.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I'm for it. So it'll be a game. It was a game that was supposed to be out before Halloween, and it was a game I was going to talk about. And guess what didn't happen? So look forward to that next year on the Collector's Quest podcast. Woo!
Johnny, that game came out just before Halloween on the correct gaming platform, the personal computer.
Oh, okay, cool. But that's not collectible, Tyler.
Johnny, that's true. It's so weird. Like, I don't want to get into that conversation right now.
Okay.
Do you have a pick for the worst Christmas gift?
Yeah.
Of the things we looked at.
I have stuff outside of what we talked about that like.
Yeah, whatever you think the worst thing would be.
Okay. So Okay, mugs. Like really, mugs and pint glasses that have video games on them. Don't buy those. Like no one like beg your family not to buy those for you. I don't know what you need to tell them to make it not happen, but please, like Tyler's the best example for why not to buy anybody a mug ever because what mug do you have, Tyler?
Oh, I've got a Yeti mug. I love it. It's a Yeti. It's a metal mug, so I can't break it. Oh man, guys, if you don't have a Yeti mug, huge recommendation.
Yeah, what color is it?
Black.
And what were you using before that, Tyler?
I don't remember at this point because I love my Yeti mug so much. Why?
Okay. How many mugs?
I was using a little glass. I was using like an IKEA glass mug before that.
How many mugs are in your cupboard?
Oh, I don't know, 10.
How many of those mugs do you ever use?
My Yeti mug's never in the cupboard, Johnny, because it's always either washed
being used.
or I'm drinking from it.
Right, that's the point. So all you're doing is buying somebody something. As people who love to put things on a shelf, mugs aren't it. Please stop. Don't buy. Please tell them. And like all the pint glasses you're going to get from like Target, and it's like an easy buy. It's super impulse. Like, oh, he likes games and this one has Mario on it. If you wash that shit in the dishwasher, it's just going to peel or fade. Even if you wash them in hot water, it eventually chips off. And then you're just left, I guess, conveniently with a pint glass, which I guess is fine. But no,
I hate the stuff that comes off. Johnny, you will maybe not be surprised to know I get all my pint glasses from the dollar store. Because I like no design.
I buy metal cups, Tyler. I have insulated metal cups, and that's all I use.
All right. Hey. All right. I hope they're plain.
They are not. They all have fun designs on them because I'm fun, Tyler.
Well, fuck you, Johnny.
They're all fun. Like right now, I'm drinking from Dungeons and Dragons cup, and it's the intro from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon from the 80s, and it's got a beholder on it. So yeah, it's great.
I'm drinking a Stella, so I could loosen up for this show and complain about some consumerism.
Oh, well, enjoy, Tyler. Enjoy your alcoholic beverage. You're an adult.
Thank you.
You're an adult. You can do that. The Collector's Quest does not recommend anyone drinking who is under the legal age.
Johnny, let me tell you.
What's your worst gift?
Let me tell you about the company named Atari, the fourth or fifth iteration of a company under the name Atari. Although I think this one has technically lasted a while. This is the company that put out the Atari VCS, a real video game console that people totally still care about and play, even if they gave it a positive initial impression on YouTube when they first got it in the mail. Have you looked at your Atari VCS in the past 2 months? Let me know if you have looked at your Atari VCS. Anyway, this weird company also have done a bunch of weird things with NFTs and cryptocurrency. If you go to their website and you go to their store, they are selling reproduction arcade PCBs from their classic games, like, I don't know, Black Widow and Major Havoc and things like this. Real arcade PCBs. And I thought this was like so cool. I'm like, oh my God. Like I realized that like the Atari engineers aren't the ones working on this. They've co-opted some fan project. But I'm like, oh my God, they're like supporting the original arcade community with reproduction PCBs. This is like really cool stuff for Atari to be doing. And then I take a closer look and it's just the PCB. There's no components on it. It's literally just the piece of Bakelite or whatever we make PCBs out of these days.
Wait, that's it? That's it?
It's a green sheet of cardboard, basically, and it's got the game marquee printed on it. Johnny.
Tyler,
what do you think this costs? What do you think one of these costs?
$200.
It's $240!
Jesus
for a
Christ,
blank
man.
PCB? What?
This is worse than the limit. This is worse than that limited run set of Atari games. What's
Johnny,
happening?
I order blank PCBs for electronics because I build like keyboards and stuff, and like I'm so far beyond like buying keyboards. Like I build my keyboards on blank PCBs because we're if I'm building a keyboard, it's from GitHub because those guys are making the real keyboards. You buy a PCB would be like $6 for like with no components, no nothing on it. $204. This is the most overpriced product I've maybe like ever seen related to video games. Outrageous.
That is crazy, Tyler.
While I was on the Atari store, though, I do want to point out another strange thing they had for sale: Mr. Run and Jump for the Atari 2600. And I want you to let me know if you agree with this description of it. It's a platformer. It's Atari. It doesn't look good because it's Atari. It's probably as good as it can get for Atari, and it's probably not even as good as it's maybe similar to Pitfall, I would call it. Atari is returning to its roots with the 2600 version of Mr. Run and Jump. This adventure platformer marks a significant milestone in gaming history, Atari's first official 2600 cartridge since 1990. And I think that game in 1990 was Clax, if anyone's wondering. Is Mr. Run and Jump a historic release, Johnny?
I had never heard of it before this episode.
I've never heard of it until I went to the Atari store, but it's only $30. Atari Homebrew is not as expensive as NES Homebrew. Johnny, is this historic?
No, absolutely it is not.
I mean, they're getting me. Their first release. I mean, I realize the company that owns the Atari name is not Atari. It's fake. But I'm not buying this, Johnny. As much as I love fake history. I think I'm going to save my $30 on Mr. Run and Jump.
I think that is a good idea, Tyler.
Although on the Atari Age going out of business sale. Oh, can we talk about more Atari stuff? Are we in the mood to talk about more Atari stuff, Johnny?
No, maybe we save it for after dark.
All right.
I want to put a disclaimer out on one last thing. Last thing not to buy. And this one really got me. Okay, I typically recommend Hallmark ornaments because they're easy and it's fun. Like, it's fun to have a new ornament to put on the tree every year. Not for people like you because you're joyless and you probably don't enjoy things like that.
Yeah.
But my wife and I like to buy an ornament each year and put it on the tree, and that's fun. And Hallmark has a lot of good video game themed ones. They've made a lot of good ones over the years. You can go get a bunch of them. There's like a cool Metroid one. There's like a Zelda Wind Waker. You get Luigi in Mario Kart. You can get Toad, you can get an Eevee, you can get Pikachu, you can get Animal Crossing ones. There's a lot of good stuff out there, Tyler. They've made like the Super Nintendo, like the Nintendo console. So much good stuff. Let me tell you what not to buy. I cannot condone this. They made the Zelda cart, Tyler, for the NES. They made a 3/4 scale, just about, reproduction of it.
Yeah.
The label is wrong, Tyler.
Oh, that's so funny. Yes, please talk about that.
Okay. Have you seen it? Have you seen what's wrong with the label?
Once you said that, I knew what you were talking about.
Okay, so basically, someone Googled the image of the end label where like it folds over, and they fucked up, Tyler, because they put that part at the bottom. So it just says The Legend of Zelda on the bottom, which would be the part that goes over the top. I don't know who fucking did this disaster of a cart. Anyways, everything is wrong with this cart. It looks horrible. The texturing on it's weird. I hate this. It's $20. Just why? I don't know why this exists. I don't know. I know a bunch of people are going to buy it, and I know a bunch of you are going to get it for Christmas, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, because this is trash. I'm not an ornament guy. I think it's fine, honestly. I think they've had some cool Zelda ornaments in the past. I think their little Nintendo is fine, and I think a little Zelda cartridge, even if the label is literally upside down, I think it's fine. Huh. Oh, interesting. Tyler, that may be my information might be incorrect. So what the picture on here might be an old picture. Because I'm seeing live video of it now.
Did they fix it?
It looks like they've corrected it.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Hallmark listening to the people.
Hold on. So now I'm going to say, if you can find one with the fucked up label, extra collectible.
All right.
Yeah, Tyler, they fixed it.
I'm really impressed. Like, I would imagine like these things just get like shipped off to China and they're like, hey, Can you make 100,000 of these for us? So I'm kind of impressed that they actually bothered to fix it. But I guess they're like, hey, no, these are $20, but we're selling these to picky ass collectors. It needs to be the right thing. So hey, all right, shout out to Hallmark.
I retract what I said. I can't believe they fixed it.
All right,
they should update that picture though, because that's awful.
Yeah. Wait, Johnny, I do have to shout out something that I can't find. Damn it. As we're talking about books, I realized that Dave, FC Gamer, put out another entry of Family Bits. So last year, I strongly recommended Family Bits Volume 1 because it is the only reference on Taiwanese Famicom games that will ever exist in print, ever. He is the expert. When he dies, it all goes with him. So everything he gets down onto paper before he dies is all we're ever going to know about global Famicom, like unlicensed and bootleg cartridges. He put out Volume 1, excellent book, like truly an essential resource to games that nobody cares about for the most important console ever made. But he also recently put out Volume 5, which is not available on Amazon. It's on like some shitty self-publishing website. It is Family Bits Volume 5. This entire book is a visual reference to all the different styles of Famicom cartridge. Like, so there's like, there's dozens on like just the regular Famicom in Japan. There's like all the different cartridge styles. Namco has their own style. Nintendo has a style, like all that kind of stuff. This is everything. It's like Vietnamese unlicensed bootleg Famicom cartridge. This is the one that's shaped like toast. That's the entire book. It's the most pointless and specific book that has probably ever been published in terms of video game collecting. But I love that it exists. So yeah, I think you should support it.
Also, I think you like this one, the NES Oddities and the Homebrew Revolution.
That is also, yeah. I don't want to like repeat my ground too much, but NES Oddities is, again, like an essential book for NES homebrew and unlicensed stuff. I think it does a really good job. But I think the most important thing that thing does is the NES Oddities book. It goes over every NES homebrew released basically up to the NES Maker era. And so much of that stuff was like Nintendo age stuff that was sold in forum threads. There's not even like a Kickstarter reference to go back. This is like pre-Kickstarter, like limited editions that were sold like 10 copies.
In a thread where you signed up and like picked your number. That's how these things went.
Yeah. This stuff is so obscure. And to have all of that stuff in one book, like all of that has been like, there's a record of it and there's a picture of it and it tells you like production numbers. That's just a small part of the NES Oddities books. It goes over all like the weird unlicensed stuff, the weird regional stuff, like all the stuff that people listening to this podcast would like. But just that NES homebrew section, I think is so important to have that in print. So I really, really love that book.
Yep, and you can get that from HagensAlley.com for $40.
Yep.
All right.
From Nintendo Age guy, Jeffrey Wittenhagen. You might have seen him at PRG. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a great book. You should probably own one. An essential piece of reference material.
Yep.
All right, Tyler, we did it. You want to talk about a question? Do you want to answer a question? I mean,
do you want to talk about a question? Johnny, we're getting back to the swing of things
talk
after
about a question.
Having an off
All
week.
Right. It's been a long day. Let's answer a question.
Josh Gelb asks, game cases that have an additional holder inside, like a spot in DS cases for GBA or PS2 cases with memory cards, for or against?
I don't know if I've ever thought about whether I'm for or against them.
Oh, I'm strongly for. Forget that it holds something. The folds in the plastic makes the case more structurally rigid, so like 100% for all the time. Absolutely.
Oh. Okay, I'm in on your argument. I'm 100% for.
And then additionally, in like, especially the games that are like supposed to have something like Pokemon Box or Animal Crossing, it makes the game case feel more substantial, and that just feels better. Like you have a heavy game case, it's like, ooh, that Animal Crossing's got an extra like 14 grams in there. Hell yeah, there's something in here. I love that. I don't know what people were doing with like the GBA spots in DS cases. Like it's really funny that they did that, and I guess people like make custom GBA cases out of those now. But
do you think they were like experimenting with a thing where they were gonna have like GBA games in there? Like I wonder, like why is that even a thing?
I think But like the DS had a GBA slot on it, so I think they thought they were gonna put like maybe expansion packs and stuff. Because there were a couple of games that came with GBA expansion packs. Like Daigasso Band Brothers in Japan has an expansion pack that comes on a GBA cartridge. It's really cool.
And that is cool. And then the Metroid has a Rumble pack.
Yeah. But did that Rumble pack fit in like one of those little slots?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just a GBA game size.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish they did more with that, because the fact that it had a GBA slot was so damn cool, and like it was just like, whatever. Once they made the DS Lite, they're like, GBA, like that's gonna be sticking out. Forget GBA. We made DS. It's the most popular thing on planet Earth.
That's true. All right. Next question.
Emilio asks, do you manage the humidity of the room where you keep your games? If so, how do you do it? What's an acceptable level of humidity?
I do not, because I live in Southern California.
I absolutely do. I have an AC installed in my garage, and I don't keep like the good stuff in my garage. So like, don't rob my house, please. It's like Xbox and Wii games. But yeah, I installed an AC in my garage. I don't think there is a good way to manage just humidity, like dehumidifier. Anything that's not like an actual dehumidifier is garbage. Like, don't get like damp rid. They've got like these buckets of like silica gel, more or less, is what it is. Like, those will not do anything in a space the size of a room for any significant amount of time. You can get a physical dehumidifier, which would theoretically do something. I know when I was growing up, they had to have a permanent one running in my basement for some reason that was draining into a sink, just constantly dehumidifying because, I don't know, New York sucks. But yeah, air conditioning is the way to do it. Air conditioning a room dehumidifies the air. It's perfect.
That sounds terrible.
Personally keep everything between, I think, 64 degrees is as low as I go, and like 74 is as high as I go.
Okay.
Keep my stuff nice. So the thing that really got me paranoid about air conditioning everything always is I heard a story about a guy. He bought a really nice Paragon pinball machine, which pinball back glasses were painted in the 70s. And it was stored in a non-air conditioned warehouse, but it was still in perfect condition. And he took it from the warehouse like outside in the winter, and all the paint immediately fell off. And I'm just like, humidity is the devil, temperature is the devil, all my shit is staying in like the same 8-degree range forever. After I heard that story, I'm just like, I don't want to deal with any of this bad shit happening to my games. Or, I mean, the thing I don't want to deal with is mold, really, but...
Yeah.
Don't store shit in your garage. Don't store shit in like your shed. I know some people do that, but I'm too scared of mold. There's a lot of games with mold.
There's a lot of games with mold, and that's a hard pass from us. Okay.
Johnny, why'd you say no? You got your stuff not humidified or dehumidified? What's going on?
No, my stuff's in my office. And then like in a closet upstairs. And it's all
so it's air conditioned.
My house. Yeah, it's all air conditioned. I mean, I have stuff out. I have like the Wii games and the Xbox games out in the garage, which gets hot, but we don't get like high humidity.
Both of us are just like Wii and Xbox. That could go in the garage. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, I mean, it doesn't get incredibly humid here. So I'm not like worried about moisture in the air. So.
Also, if anyone keeps their, I think we've mentioned this, but if you keep your stuff in climate-controlled storage, that's like 50 degrees to 80 degrees, because obviously they're not like spending money to air condition nothing. It's like so the pipes don't freeze and like to prevent mold, maybe. So I maybe would not keep the most collectible stuff in my collection in a storage unit.
Yeah. Seems like a bad idea.
Also, if you have a storage unit of video games, maybe you have too many video games. As someone who has too many video games, like, I don't have a storage unit.
Nope, but you got a garage.
It's time to trade up. Like, if you have that many video games, like, you have a bunch of $2 video games, like, it's time to sell maybe like $100 video games and buy a $200 video game, and you're going to be happier. So, do that.
Maybe.
No, you will be. No one wants a $2 video game.
Look, you have a lot of $2 video games.
I have a lot of $2 video games.
Okay. A lot of them. All right. I've seen you dig through bins of Atari games.
Oh, man, I think I'm just gonna sell all my Atari cartridges. Like, I like the idea of having them to play Atari, and like over the past 10 years, I've switched from a physical console for everything to like I will play physical NES games, and like I've got like a couple other things I play, like N64, Saturn, SNES, and TurboGrafx. Those are kind of the consoles I play physically, and then like everything else, whatever, I'll just emulate it. So I think all my Atari cartridges are gonna go.
Ooh, cartridge only stuff though, not the non-collectibles.
For a couple years, I've been trying to build up my complete in box Atari collection, Johnny, because I don't think my Atari collection is very good. Except for I have a bunch of sealed stuff, but it's all like the common crap sealed stuff that I got for $10 each. I guess it is kind of good if you looked at it in whole in that sense. But like I don't have like a really nice complete in box adventure, I don't think. I don't know how nice like my Pitfall is, because all this would have been stuff I bought in like the mid 2000s when like just I didn't care. And I was also buying tons of cartridges. So I think a lot of like, I don't know if I have a complete in box Haunted House.
What?
I mean, like, I don't know. I might have a sealed Haunted House for all I know. I haven't cataloged my stuff in a really long time.
It's like $25. Go buy a Haunted House.
Like when I was thinking about like checking the box for Atari games, that was like the first thing I was doing in video game collecting. I was buying like 50-cent Atari game cartridges. And I wasn't thinking about like complete in box. So that's most of my Atari collection is cartridge only, and I need to get rid of it all now.
You do need to get rid of that.
I've got it in my Atari collection. It's all in like the 17-liter really useful boxes, but I stick to the principle of one layer because otherwise it just becomes a mess. So I've got like these half full boxes full of Atari cartridges.
No, get rid of those.
Huge waste of space.
The box is more expensive than everything. The
box is literally more expensive than like the 80 cartridges it holds. It's so funny. All right.
Let's get on to the last thing we do here. Let's talk about what we played and what we bought, shall we?
Go ahead, Johnny. What do you got?
Well, Tyler, I don't know if you've heard about Halloween games, but I was buying a bunch of those. And I may have bought more stuff than I was able to show. So I like... Sorry, my just stuttering now. The Lurking Horror, I bought that. I got...
That sounds like a new game.
No, that's for the Atari ST.
Oh. I don't remember that one. But okay, cool title. I don't know what it is.
I think we talked about it maybe... it's also on the Commodore 64. I mean, it's one of those. It's that era of game. It was on all of those consoles.
Okay.
I bought the Goosebumps PC game, complete in box. And... yeah, what else did I buy? I bought something just came today. What came today? Hold on. I bought Super Mario Wonder for my son, who's now he's now taking over that game. It's his. Let's see, date added. And I bought the new Haunted House, and didn't show that off. Yeah, that's what I bought. That's it.
The new Atari one, the like 3D one.
Yes.
It's like a roguelike, I think.
Yeah, it's weird. I bought it for the Switch. It's also available on like I think the Xbox and PS5.
Now that since I said that dismissively, is the original Haunted House a roguelike?
No.
I mean, what is it?
Dude, I don't. Haunted House is its own thing. Leave Haunted House alone.
Okay.
So let's see. What did I play? I played a little bit of Diablo, and that was it, really.
I've given up on Diablo, and I'm happy about it. Yeah, me and Ada went straight to Baldur's Gate 3. Because, I mean, Diablo is this... I didn't even finish the story. It's just a stupid thing where it's like, oh, content. Here's more content. You want more quests, more areas, more map. And it's just like, you know what? We don't need to play this for 400 hours.
But what about you? What have you bought? What have you played besides Baldur's Gate 3?
Johnny, it's been like a month, so I've got a bunch of pretty good stuff. But I'm going to talk about my two favorite things, and I don't remember if I talked about the first one. Did I bring up Donkey Kong 3 Great Counterattack? I don't think I did.
I don't think you did.
Johnny, I've been looking for this game since I started talking like about collecting Japanese games on Collector's Quests. I don't know, maybe 3 years, maybe more. So Hudson Soft, on Japanese computers in the 80s, they ported a lot of Nintendo games, like NES games and some arcade games, like Super Mario Brothers Special. They've got Mario Brothers Special, which is a sort of sequel to the original Mario Brothers. They've got like Balloon Fight. They've got Golf. They've got Excite Bike. All these on like PC 8801, Sharp X1, a bunch of obscure computers that no one probably cares about.
Yeah, I think did you show off the Balloon Fight already?
I didn't get that in the mail yet.
Oh.
Or maybe I just got that in the mail. But a lot of these there's like some sequels, like Mario Brothers Special is not a port of Mario Brothers. It is technically a sequel. It's its own game, but it's not super rare. Like, I think you should probably go get it because it's cool if you're like into Mario stuff, but like you can get it. Super Mario Brothers Special, like that's kind of rarer. That's also, I think it's like half port, half its own game. It's kind of its own thing. That's pretty gettable. Donkey Kong 3 Great Counterattack is one of the less gettable ones. It's the sequel to Donkey Kong 3. Would you believe it or not, Johnny, the sequel to Donkey Kong 3 was not Hudson Soft's best-selling computer port.
I can't believe that, Tyler. Tell me more.
Yeah, no, that's just it. This is not a Mario game. It's a Stanley game. And he like goes to like just all I don't need to describe it. It's a shooter and you go to all these weird locations and it's really weird that Donkey Kong is there. It's a very rare and obscure, technically Nintendo game, and I'm very happy to finally have it complete in box. Let me tell you, this is not a save search that I checked religiously throughout like the years I've been searching for one, and it's been ported to like 2 or 3 different computers. I think PC 8001 might be one of the ports. Whatever it was, I think I mentioned this on the show, but a copy came up of this game and it's sold on Yahoo Auctions for something like $500, and I missed it. And I realized that I missed it because I went to the MarioWiki.com article and they cited the auction and they're like, look, a new version of this game exists. We didn't even know this port of the game existed. And that's the one I would have bid on and won if I had seen it. But I think I didn't even pay $500 for this one, so I am very happy. It's the nicest one I've ever seen.
That's pretty cool. I want to see pictures of it. Maybe post them on Instagram.
Sure. Yeah, check my Instagram. It's default JE.
Yeah.
If you don't know that joke, don't check that. It's some weird anime thing I think is on there.
Oh man. That's
Johnny, funny. I got one of the games that crashed in price today.
Yeah.
I didn't get the one off Heritage Auctions, but I bought a complete in box a complete in box Match Super Mario Brothers for the NES.
You did it.
I kind of did it. So
wait, you got a Matt Super Mario Brothers.
I got a Matt Super Mario Brothers.
You did the thing.
Let's say I did the thing. So
this is the dream, right?
Yeah, it's we're gonna work on it. We're gonna see what we can upgrade over time on this. But since I guess 2019, maybe even 2018, I have been buying up like good stuff. I've been trying to maybe stay ahead of the market in some of the things they were interested in. And like the one thing that I just like never got was a Match Super Mario Brothers. Like that was in like the hype sphere. Because like it kind of immediately went to thousands of dollars. And like, you know, to be on Heritage Auctions and complete in box copies come up for like $10,000, sometimes like $20,000 for like a nicer one. And like a really nice one would sell, you know, like $60,000, some like ridiculous price. So I'm Tyler. I know the best thing you could possibly have is a complete in box Japanese version of the earliest Mario variant with the misprint manual and the errata insert with no UPC on the back of the box. And there's 2 box variants. One has locking hang tabs. One doesn't have locking hang tabs. It doesn't matter, Johnny. The Famicom version is the best thing. So really, I just wanted a placeholder for this. So Johnny, I have been looking for the worst condition Matt Mario box that still technically has the sticker on it, because a lot of them have the sticker that have been removed, and I feel like that's bullshit. It's no longer a matte box once the sticker is removed. That's basically a third print box. I don't care that you could tell that the sticker was there at some point. Fuck your box if it doesn't have the sticker. I'm sorry to the 3 people listening to this podcast I'm offending who actually have something like that. Johnny, my box, I am almost positive, was used as target practice with a BB gun.
That sounds great. I bet it looks really nice.
It is horrendous, but it is technically complete. I don't think it has any missing box flaps or anything stupid like that. It doesn't have like a ripped out hang tab. And it has half of the match sticker. I thought the full sticker was there. I've got half of the match sticker. It's literally the worst possible box that I would have purchased. Less than $1,500. I don't know. It's that I'm not going to get one cheaper. So I'm okay with my purchase.
You did the thing. I
did the thing. And I'm still looking for like my PCB variants and all that garbage, but
you did the thing.
Sure, I got a thing. And now like the price crashed, so there was like a pretty decent one, like it was like a 7.5 that sold for like $7,000 today. And like you look at my like BB gun box and you look at that and you're like, "Oh yeah, that was clearly worth the extra $5,000," but like I'm as much of a better deal as the one that sold on Heritage Auction was. I'm not spending $7,000 on a better box for my fucking Mario.
No.
$7,000, some might say, is a lot to spend on anything.
Yes, I would agree. Imagine that you could buy like a used car.
In this day and age, though, can you? That's like maybe 2 months rent, $7,000.
I mean, it could be 1 month rent depending where you live.
That sounds like a nightmare. I don't know.
Yeah, well, welcome to California.
I'm not coming there, so...
Well, why not? Just come here.
Johnny,
don't buy games, just pay mortgage. What's that? I said, don't buy games, just pay mortgage.
I mean, that sounds like a more sensible way to live. Like, no one should be buying a game for $1,500. I'm almost positive it is the worst condition one on any population. If someone thinks they have a worse Mass Super Mario Brothers, I'd love to hear from them.
I'm glad you would love to hear from them. I would love to hear from you about your shitty box. Tell me about it. Tell me about your shitty box.
I'm not the worst.
Yeah. Tell me how you're worse than I am. Maybe we can compare pictures. Is that it? All you got?
That's what I'm buying. Johnny, I bought Super Mario Wonder. Played a couple worlds. It seems great. I bought Baldur's Gate 2. Johnny had played for like 6 hours. It's
Baldur's Gate 3?
Baldur's Gate 3, yeah. Some of the co-op in that game, I feel... A problem I don't like with multiplayer in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 is that 100% it is player 1 and player 1's friend. So basically, like, player 2 is just, like, kind of controlling a member of the party, and player 1 is the main guy in the party.
Yeah.
And Divinity Original Sin 2 does such a good job of not being that. It is, like, very specifically a story about 2 people going on these, like, 2 kind of related paths. And then I go back to Baldur's Gate 3, and in, like, a lot of the major cutscenes, only my character model shows on screen. So Ada is, like, saying out loud, like, oh, okay, I guess it's showing you because you're the main guy. And I just can't believe that they made this, like, amazing co-op RPG, and they've kind of regressed back to player 1 and player 1's friend. But
they kept it traditional.
Sure, they kept it traditional. Anyway, I'm not far in enough to judge. So far, I think I like Divinity Original Sin 2 better, but I'm obviously a huge fanboy of that game, so who knows?
Okay.
And then I played 40 hours of Brigand Oaxaca, Johnny.
Oh, boy.
Immersives, it's like Gothic and Deus Ex merged into one game made by one guy. And I played that for like 40 hours.
You didn't play anything else?
Every waking moment of my life, Johnny, I just want to play more Brigand Oaxaca.
You didn't even play that Agatha Christie game?
I got Agatha Christie, and then there were none small box PC in the mail. That was a gift from Johnny. Johnny, thank you very much.
Yeah, came with the book.
I'm definitely going to pop that into my CD drive and install it right away.
Yeah. Basically, I just thought that was funny because we talked about it, and I was like, this is a funny thing. Got a cool cover, though.
Sure. I will never see it because it's going to be stuck on a shelf.
Tyler, it came with the book. It's when we do the games that came with books, this is one of them.
It sure is. Michael Crichton's Timeline's another one.
Ooh.
Is this going to be an episode?
Yeah, this is going to be an episode one day. There's a couple of games. There's like the Wii game, Dangerous Games for Girls or something. I forget the exact name of it.
Yeah.
There's the Goosebumps one. There's a few book games.
Oh, man.
Can't wait to talk about those in more detail.
All right.
Tyler?
Well, that's for another time.
I forgot to mention, I did want to tell you one dumb thing I super bought. I totally fucking forgot about this thing.
What?
Tyler, hey, you ever heard of Ozzy and Drix?
That doesn't sound like something that comes from America.
It's you're gonna love this. It's a GBA game. You don't know Ozzy and Drix?
Wow, you really you probably sold like Kanakis on that.
Well, I'm sure Kanakis already knows this. Hey, do you know what Osmosis Jones is?
Absolutely, Johnny. I'm 33 or 34 years old.
This is the Osmosis Jones game.
Oh, yeah. Okay. This must be rare, and that's why you're bringing this up to me.
Yeah, I bought this dumbass thing. And what can I say? I this is a game that doesn't show up too often, even though when I bought this one that was like $5 on eBay. All much more expensive than the one I got, but it's perfect and it has everything in it. It was so perfect. I was like, is this real? But also it's Osmosis Jones game, or Ozzy and Drix. So it's like, I'm sure no one ever played this because why would they? But yeah, I bought that dumb thing. So I spent
Johnny,
over
you
$100
want
on
Osmosis, you got Osmosis. Everyone remembers that classic catchphrase from Osmosis Jones.
Yep. Everyone remembers it.
This month, like a week ago, I watched a YouTube video on why Osmosis Jones is unintentionally a commentary on how healthcare would work in a fascist system. It was fascinating, Johnny. You can make a fucking video essay about anything.
You sure can. That is wild. What?
So people like it was from like a leftist YouTube channel basically. And like I understand like maybe you're thinking about fascism all the time, but maybe you threw Osmosis Jones on the Netflix and maybe your brain was making some connections that perhaps just weren't there.
Probably. I'm going to say yes. So, also Ozzy and Drix, I think was also a cartoon. Like it had its own like series outside of Osmosis Jones. Yeah, there are 3 of these on eBay right now, Tyler. Do you want to guess what the cheapest one on eBay is going for in a complete box right now?
GBA game, $299.
$438.
Oh, guys! Oh, can we get in close?
Yeah, come in close.
GBA games. Do you know how good of a game you can buy for $435 on any platform? You can buy any PS2 game. Like, forget about like whatever the top game is now. I don't know if it's Blood Will Tell. It's one of the From Software games. Forget about that. Any other PS2 game you could have. Any of them. Everybody else, Moses Jones GBA game! And no. This isn't the problem. Osmosis Jones isn't the problem. The problem is if you're buying the $400 Osmosis Jones GBA game, you have a fucking closet full of this shit. You think that all of your stupid kids movie GBA games that you paid like $300 each for are the coolest shit, and you're like, but just look at eBay. There's no copies of it. I don't care that there's no copies of it. All of this shit, like literally all of this shit is going to turn into New Adventure Comics 26, which is the quote-unquote rarest DC comic. And no one fucking cares about it because it's New Adventure Comics 26. It's nothing. And this is beyond that because that's the one rarest thing. And this is just all the nothing. This is New Adventure Comics 34. This is just, what, $400?
You'll be happy to know I did not pay $400.
I know you didn't pay.
No, yeah, I did not pay that much. Yeah,
Guys.
it's a lot, Tyler. It's yeah, please stop doing that. But yeah,
I don't want to out someone, but I do know someone who they used the CGC. They have like a complete in box, like they put out like a variant guide, and part of their variant guide is the key games. And they started buying sealed copies of all the key games in the CGC guide. Like, all right, whatever. Like, that guy's pretty good. But, like, you know what? If you do that, if you buy games that, like, at least someone has looked at and verified are, like, maybe a good and noteworthy video game, you probably will do a lot better than buying Osmosis Goddamn Jones.
You're never doing better than Ozzy and Drix.
You're right. Don't buy, you know what, that guy's gonna have like Super Mario and Pokemon and Zelda, and just like that's just what like the man wants you to think is cool. And you know what, if you're buying Osmosis Jones, you know what makes you happy. You don't have to follow the crowd. You're not a sheep. You know what the cool stuff is, and you and the 5 other people in your group chat are totally gonna think it's the coolest thing.
It's true. Hey,
damn! I wish I had a group chat, Johnny.
I mean,
I'm buying.
you can't have a group chat in Elements. I don't think.
No, you can't. Elements basically Discord, but no, I want a group chat of people who get excited over weird Japanese PC games. But it's just Tiger Wolf. I just talked to Tiger Wolf, and he's like, "Yeah, oh, it's the first Japanese text adventure." Yeah, that game's so cool. Oh, you've been searching for free. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. Well,
Johnny, I also got the first Japanese text adventure game, which I don't remember the name of. And I got Mystery House, which is a very influential graphic adventure game. I got the Japanese Mystery House, not the $3,000 American Mystery House.
Oh, then you bought the wrong one.
It's a different game, but I find... So... Like, are we in After Dark at this point? But,
well, we can just transition to After Dark. And then
no, we don't have to. But yeah. So Mystery House is the first graphic adventure game. Came out on Apple II. Hugely influential game. Sierra game. Just like an incredibly collectible, important game for like PC point and click adventure people, or not even point and click, just adventure gamers. And then Japan basically ripped it off. There's a game called Mystery House that came out in Japan like 2 years later, and it's the same exact concept as the original Mystery House, but like it's a little bit different. It's kind of its own game, but it's kind of equally also an influential graphic adventure game in Japan. Just it's not the original Mystery House, so who cares? This game was like $60. Oh, I finally broke down, and I'm like, you know what? If I'm not going to own the real Mystery House, I can at least own the somewhat influential Japanese Mystery House.
You did it. You did the thing.
We should end this episode, and we're already in an After Dark mood.
All right, let's just go to there. All right, everybody. You can't find Tyler anywhere but Discord, and you can find me on Instagram. I know people are asking me like, "Oh, what are you posting next, bro?" I'm taking a break. It's a lot of effort. I have like a job and a family. Who's got time for videos every day? Jesus. Tyler, that was a lot. That was a lot of work. And it wasn't even like that much work, but it was just like, oh man, like, you know, I'm trying to wear like a fun shirt and like make sure the shirt kind of aligns. And it was,
I don't understand it. I follow like multiple people on YouTube that put out like a produced video every day. And I understand like a lot of them have writers and editors and people who do like all the extra stuff for them, especially like the bigger channels. But even like Gotham Chess is a channel I watch, puts out a half-hour video covering chess games every day. Someone has to find chess games to talk about, like interesting chess games to talk about, and he has to put on his persona and do like chess analysis every day, a half hour every single day. I can't fucking imagine.
Bro, I struggled for like the 1 minute. The 1 minute and 30 seconds I was doing. So, yeah, I don't know. Content creation probably just isn't for me outside of this podcast. Anyway, like I said, you can find me on Instagram. You can find us on our Discord. If you want to be a part of our Discord, you can do so by joining us via Patreon at the $2 level, or the $4 level gets you our bonus episodes, which the After Dark, which we've been talking about. And that's extra content and also gets you access to the Discord. And that's on patreon.com/collectorsquest. All right, Tyler, that's it. We did the thing. Woo!
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next time. Bye!